You are listening to DC On Screen.
Hey, David C. Robertson here from DC On Screen. We've been getting a lot of new listeners to our show, and that's wonderful. But this is the first news episode we've done since the release of Superman. So I would like to remind everyone that our show has a policy of talking spoilers. It's free to talk spoilers once a show or movie is released. So if you haven't seen Superman, or I'm just going to go out and say Fantastic Four, which we did see the night before we recorded, you might get spoiled. I know, Fantastic Four is a Marvel movie. We don't talk about it a whole lot, but we did reference something in the final act that could be considered a spoiler. I just thought it was fair to tell you. But you know what? If you're sticking around, welcome into DC On Screen. Now here's me and my co-host Jason Goss. Oh, welcome into DC On Screen. Mm-hmm.
Why do I sound exasperated?
Pre-exhausted. You've seen the page count of this particular episode.
Well, for me, it's not pre-exhausted because I've been doing prep for fucking 2 weeks.
Mid-exhausted.
And I'm scared now. It's mostly just fear.
Yeah. Just sheer anxiety. A little bit of, it is fear. It's fear. That's great.
All right. Here's the thing. I tried, y'all.
Yeah.
I did try. I did. I'm not, at no point was I ever thinking we're going to talk about all the fucking news that's come out, because that's impossible. I did grab all the stuff that I wanted to talk about, and I still may have bit off a little more than I could choose. The show notes for this episode, 30 pages.
Yeah.
And that's including a little bit of feedback. So we had some people write in some nice things, and some people not, look.
I feel like when you say 30 pages, you don't actually have to know the context of that. It does sound like a lot.
Yeah.
I will vow now to try to not get in your way a lot because we're gonna have to go.
Our normal.
I'm just saying it out loud this time. Usually I say it before and then I abandon that entirely. So if I say it now, hoping to trap myself.
I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a little afraid, because our normal 15 to 20 pages, that generally gets us about 3 hours.
Right. Yeah.
Especially lately.
Right.
But you know what? We've had a lot of people saying dude, do those 3-hour episodes. We love those 3-hour episodes. I don't know what y'all are smoking. I love you. Thank you so much for digging it.
Yeah. That does make the whole thing fun. And they are fun to do, but much like the others where we've gone for 3 hours, I'm trying to really stay focused here, which means it'll be about 3 times longer than I was expecting or hoping.
Jesus. No. God, no.
I don't know what to tell you. It's just how you have to guide the plane. I mean,
Well, thankfully, my wife is out, and she was like, hey, do you want me to pick up some food for you? I was like, absolutely.
Protein bar.
I'm about to do this show.
Mm-hmm.
God knows how long it's going to last. If it's all the same, I'll just pop down to Taco Bell after the show.
Right. I mean, I thought you were going to say, get me something refrigerated.
No.
I'd like a cold cut sandwich, please. Throw in not a salad. That may wilt.
No, she's going over to Publix to get dinner for herself. Mm-hmm. And I just can't deal with that bland travesty of food. I just can't. It's like $15 for something that you've never even... I mean, you put it in your mouth and you're like, is this food?
Yeah. Most of the bar there I can see. Where it's at right now is just get all the fruit. They're gonna kill it on the fruit. It's gonna be just as overly priced as the rest of the fruit that I know about. So it's just about the same. And it's just, oh God, just eat your fill, regret nothing.
Girl, I went to a Publix the other day and I couldn't, I was looking to see if I could find some food, and all I could smell was the fish from the seafood section, and I just went, that ain't right.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to smell it like that.
No, that's what grocery stores smell like to me for some reason. The back of them. I mean, I grew up near a Western. I don't know if that matters. They wanted to be people that had a deli, but or a butcher section, but...
Okay, but this was when I walked in. I was in the front.
I don't know. I guess I was still associated with that. Kind of a refrigerated milk fish smell?
No, this was fresh, stank-ass fish. It was bad.
Okay.
It was rough.
I got you.
Yeah. I go into Publix all the time to pick up food for Bethany, but...
Yeah, I see.
Or my meds. But,
I have discovered a few... I don't know what's going on with the colors they've gotten going on with the fruits recently. There's a lot of hybridization going.
Mm-hmm.
So suddenly stuff like pink watermelon or yellow watermelon or whatever is starting to show up, and I don't know what we've tried. They're all delightful. Most of the time it's just a color change, but you're like, oh, that's cool. Sometimes it's a little bit of a flavor change. I didn't know about golden kiwi until recently, but they nailed it. That is golden, and you can throw the other one away. That's normally what we do when you achieve stuff like golden status. You throw the others away, but for some reason we stashed this one in a corner and sold 4 of them at a time. I don't know what I don't know what anyone was thinking there.
That's them woke kiwis everyone's so upset about.
That's why we need to embrace change, people. That's.
By the way, I love that we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to go on this episode. We got like 30 pages. Anyway, let's talk about melons and fish.
Yeah, of course.
We can't help ourselves.
Let's hope that's just getting it out of our system. All right. Ready.
All right. You ready to do this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about the Superman box office. We haven't talked about news in a long time, so we are.
A lot of money's been made in the meantime.
Dude, we're like a day over the 2-week mark, and Superman has just hit 502.7 million worldwide. It's doing 289.5 domestically, 213.2 internationally, and as you might have guessed, the people who enjoyed the movie, which are the vast majority, I would say, especially since, I know we're not supposed to be like, oh, this thing, but I mean, 83% on the tomato meter, audience score 92%, 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb, A- on Cinema Score, things a success critically.
Yeah.
Just
people have liked it.
It did good.
Yeah. The actual audience ratings that I will typically look at did well. The people's polls. I shouldn't say it that way.
As we have all surmised, it depending on your bent, on your bias, you're using these numbers to make whatever case you have. I'm seeing people going, "Oh, it's a flop. It's a flop." I don't know how. And likewise, like when people say this, they are just ratioed the fuck out of the internet. Like people are just like commenting and being like, "What are you even smoking, dude?"
Yeah, it's worthless.
And a lot of these people are bringing up, well, inflation, and then other people say, well, maybe you got to also count the budget when you do that inflation. And then other people say, well, we don't even know what the budget is. And I'm going to assume the budget is about 225 million on the Superman. We haven't gotten like an official number, and I don't know what they spent on marketing, but I mean, it broke
another 100 feels right. I mean,
maybe
could be. It was a well-marketed movie.
Yeah, it was a well-marketed movie.
I mean, it could be 75 or 100, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like this being worth 275, 325 wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, well, I gotta say that it kind of would, because I don't think Gunn would bite off more than he could chew on the first one, and he probably wants all the money to go to the other ones. But like, it just that's not an unreasonable figure, though.
Yeah, and look, they beat the preview screening record for the summer. Wall Street Journal says Warner Brothers Discovery executives are hoping it earns more than $500 million globally during its theatrical run. They are 2 weeks into their theatrical run. They've hit it. They're good. In an interview with GQ, Gunn said some of this, because a bunch of articles came out saying it had to hit 700 million or it wouldn't make us money. And he said, that is utter nonsense. This is not the riskiest endeavor in the world. Is there something riding on it? Yeah, but it's not as big as people make it out to be. They hear these numbers that the movie's only going to be successful if it makes 700 million or something, and it's just complete and utter nonsense. It doesn't need to be as big of a situation as people are saying. On the Happy Sad Confused podcast, he described not feeling pressure while making the movie. He said making the movie was his release valve. But there was a lot riding on it, that all other projects could be bolstered or hampered by Superman's performance. Now, that does not mean he was lying before, though. That means that they had a reasonable expectation for what the film should make and still be considered a success.
Yeah, there was a bar to clear that they had. That is not crazy.
They are not demanding $1 billion like WB executives of old.
Right.
Like, back in the day when, Man of Steel makes 690 or whatever it was, and they're like, well, that wasn't enough. And then BVS almost makes $1 billion, gets so close to $1 billion, and they're like, it should have made $2 billion.
Yeah.
The fuck are y'all smoking, dude?
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with y'all?
Look, my guess is they just hit it.
Okay. Avengers did that? I don't care.
Yeah, different days, different times, different expectations, different expectations as far as the reward. You didn't build all that. Like, this is the first one. This is closer to Iron Man and Thor than it is Endgame. But like,
by the way, not Endgame. I didn't mean to say Endgame because that hadn't come out yet.
No, sure.
It's just
compared numbers. Like we're not trying to hit a bill.
Yeah, but ever since the fucking Avengers came out and Iron Man 3 right after it, I feel like everybody on the internet has been like, and executives have all been like, well, it's supposed to make $1 billion. What the fuck? Where did you get that?
Yeah.
Not everything has to make $1 billion. It's okay.
You do it one time. I think you're going to pull it off every time. It is a pain in the ass.
Supposed to do Barbenheimer. No.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. That's proof that everyone's coming back to the theaters. No, that's proof that something went viral on the internet and people went out for it.
Yeah. And they both seem to be decent, like movie experiences that were worth an afternoon. I don't know what to tell you. I think it hit right. But I mean, this one I genuinely think somewhere between 4 and 5, probably 5. Is like I think it's probably right exactly what you would hope it would have done the weekend before Fantastic Four hit and was going to soak up some of the money. Let's face it. So like, I mean, we went to see it. Not like we were going to go see Superman again last night, but we went to go see it.
Yeah.
I still want to go see it again, but like. It made, I think, the amount of, like, crossing 500, specifically that number, is really great number to hit in 2 weeks before this one hits and takes your edge off a little bit for a starting of a universe. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I think internally they would have expected 4, maybe to 5.
And it's also a huge deal when you consider how much the last several DC films flopped, both critically and financially. The DCEU was dead.
Oh, it was gone. Yeah. Yeah. And like not comic book dead, like actual dead.
So, I mean, considering everything, I think it's doing damn good.
Yeah. We're in great shape.
Considering everything, like including every post having, a ton of Snyder people complaining and non-Snyder people complaining that Henry, who just wanted to see Henry do a thing, and they never got him to see him do that thing they wanted, and but they liked Henry, they didn't like Snyder, and then the Snyder people are like, "You're a clown," and it's like, I think it's great that it's made this much money in 15 days,
in just a hot second, yeah. You know what I'm not looking forward to though? Is the same type of boredom is the inevitable headlines. They're going to just compare the Fantastic Four to it's not comparing the numbers. That's fine. There's a lot of fun ways to do that. Yeah. It's the so-and-so topped and defeated and all, that verbiage.
Oh yeah. No, they're already doing it.
I know it's like Sunday. I just avoided those headlines. I assumed they've been going on for about 24 hours.
Yeah. It's just been, madness.
Yeah.
And people getting really, but
I can't be the only one who's just completely bored by that at this point.
Oh, I'm so bored by it. But here's the thing, and here's what I'm enjoying a lot of. I've seen a lot of that on Threads. I've seen a lot of that on Facebook. But every time I've seen it, they have been ratioed. Like fucking so many people being like, "Fuck you, get over it, like get a life, find something else to do." Like, people are just pushing back because people are saying,
I love this.
I loved both of these things.
I want to make the adversary, like the new adversary needs to be the people who are trying to make us adversaries. We finally might have the thread right, and I'm very proud.
Yeah.
Like I love the movement there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's beautiful.
And, I put up a post that did really well for what we normally do on Threads.
Yeah.
And got us a bunch of new followers and stuff. And
welcome.
I basically said it's okay to, like Superman or Henry and David. It's okay to like Superman and Fantastic Four. And I've gotten, a couple of people who, some of whom I had to block, I'll be honest, who were just like, what if I don't like any of it? What if I only like one? And like, am I not allowed to say my opinion?
I mean, yeah. But why did you chase down that particular comment to say it on?
Yeah. It's just, and then you go to the page, and it's like, hello, I like Snyder. I let Donald Trump jizz in my mouth last night. That kind of shit.
Yeah, of course.
And you're like, oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not saying those are mutually always together, but there is an overlap. There is an overlap.
No, it's weird because, it is odd because Zack Snyder has been very open about being a Democrat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the point. That's actually a great example of how we're at a point where just the people who are involved in that argument really truly are just the people who are the crazies. Yeah. Like the actual argument moved completely on, hopefully. I think it scattered to the winds. I don't think I don't think reasonable people were having these conversations for a long time. No. And all of our areas were just blank or full of these crazy dipshits. And then now, the reason there's positivity is because regular people are back in the conversations and trying not to be dicks. Or don't know how to be lunatics.
And they're enjoying the thing, and they're just like, you know what? I'm not going to let comic book fans get in my in my way.
This is what well-adjusted people look like en masse. I know it looks strange for us.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the fun thing. Like, I mean, we were both Snyder fans. Sure. We liked that shit.
Absolutely. Even the ones that flopped at the end, I like most of them.
I mean, dude, Blue Beetle was pretty good. Yeah. I mean, and The Flash isn't as bad as everybody says. No. I didn't like The Flash. I didn't. And I still go, like, when people are like, that's garbage, I'm like, well, that's a little much.
Not as bad as I like it, but not with, like, my whole chest. Or dislike it.
Ezra was annoying, and some of the CGI was rushed. Fuck.
It's otherwise serviceable. It's okay. Goddamn.
You know how happy I was, even though it looked like shit in a few places. Like I was happy to see Chris Reeve and Helen Slater. Oh. I was happy to see Adam West. God. Anyway, that's not the point. You know, like we are friends with Snyder fans who are not these assholes.
Right.
And they went to the thing. They said, I didn't really like this. And I went, oh, man, I'm sorry. And then they shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah, moved on. No, because, the reasonable thing to do is, like, if you didn't like it, you just sort of pop out of that news cycle for a while. It's just going to be a bunch of people who liked it. I'm just going to be bored here for a while.
Yeah.
You just sort of make yourself scarce for a second. You go find other things that occupy your time in your life because, again, be reasonable, touch grass, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you in a minute. We'll see you on the next one. You're probably like Peacemaker.
By the way, that's a very cliche thing to say now, touch grass, and it's kind of reductive and a little dismissive, it feels like, but if you look at the science, it really does help the depression, guys. If you just go outside and let the fucking sun shine upon your clammy, angry flesh.
I do hate it when cliches actually work. It's the worst.
Like there is a thing called grounding.
Yeah.
Like you can go out and just stand in the yard and your anxiety will lower. Like it'll be okay. You'll stop thinking about, how Cavill got done dirty.
Yeah.
You might see a bird.
Just go stand in the sun yourself. I promise. It'll be great. It's nice out there. There's niacin, vitamin D.
Yeah. No. Anyway. I am very happy with what the new Superman movie is doing. Mm-hmm. I liked the new Superman movie quite a bit. I might even go so far as to say I loved it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Oh, I've got commitment issues about saying I loved a movie. It's hard. It's hard for me.
You do. You do have such a strange in and out relationship with him. You can't put a ring on a motherfucker, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
As far as movies go.
Yeah. Like when I met my wife, I told her like a month in.
I'm glad you're not a movie.
I was like,
that was all.
Yeah, I'm ready to get married. Let's do this shit. Like not after me. We met and then it was like years where we were kind of like, we kind of knew of each other.
Right.
But when we started hanging out, it was like a month and I was like, I could marry you. Yeah. Let's do this shit.
This is a
movie?
Good.
But a movie is a thing where I'm like, I know that, just like Man of Steel, I was not completely sold on that movie. And you can go back. We've been around for long enough. You can go back and listen to our Man of Steel review. I was not sold. Yeah. I liked it, but I wasn't like, I had a lot of issues. I still have some of those issues.
Yeah. I think some of them were movie logic things that I think over time I convinced you were okay enough.
And I think I think personally there were some movie logic things over time I convinced you were not good.
Yes. Yeah, that cut both ways. I think I gave you enough ground to enjoy it more, and I think I had enough. I think I enjoyed it so much that your points didn't take enough away that I stopped enjoying it. So it leveled out. I think it leveled out into a place where you got to enjoy it more overall.
Yeah. I think you understood where I was coming from a little bit. Like, it was a little fucked up.
Yeah.
That was a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, importantly, like, I know myself enough to know that my first time with a movie might not be the final, feeling on it. Yeah. Like, my favorite example of this is Life Aquatic. I think I saw that fucker 4 times before I even liked it. Mm-hmm. And when I liked it, I realized it was one of the greatest movies ever made.
Just took a sec.
Dude, it took a minute. Yeah. It took a minute for me to get into Wes Anderson,
I get it.
I think that's all it really was.
I get it. It's learning a language almost.
And then I've never been as into Wes Anderson again. Like, every time I've seen a movie, I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah. But he is a type where, like, anytime you see one of his movies, you can never be sure if it was not great that day or if you weren't in the mood that day. You can't tell. You can't be sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
Some people, I think it comes across different.
You can't know. Yeah. You got to make sure you're in that mood.
You have to go watch it 6 times and make sure.
And then sometimes you got to be like, that just wasn't.
Yeah, that just didn't work out. Like, yeah,
that was just fucking dumb.
Not joking though. Like, after a while, when someone makes stuff that's complicated enough, like Grant Morrison's a great example. Like, it takes me half of a Grant Morrison book to decide that it's him, not me. Mm-hmm. Like, I really get that far before I'm like, no. I do think I understand the concept here because I'm 30-40% in before I've really got my head around what's going on sometimes with him. Like, because he writes in different scopes. Some of them are a little more heady than others. And the headier stuff, the better sometimes. And other times, the headier stuff, you're like, oh, okay, that was really complicated and I'm not feeling the payoff. You lost me on this one, man.
And that is the perfect description for Asteroid City. Like, that was a Wes Anderson that came out like a couple years ago, something like that. Yeah. And
I just wanted to see
the trailer looked great. And then they had like a framing device that just added too much complexity to it. Like, and it wasn't like I didn't understand it. It was like, it was just a little too much. It was just, I really tried.
Now, see, here's the fun part.
I really tried to like it.
Here's the fun part about knowing you as long as I have, though, is you tend to get a little more preoccupied by framing devices than I do. So that is probably true, but if it's good enough, it'll still work for me, is what I've learned. So, like, it has to be just, like, out of the park for the most part. Like, framing devices, if it's just serviceable for me, I'm like, yeah, that'll do. For some reason, for you, they like bore you very quickly.
I'll tell you this, and it's not a spoiler because it does it exactly in the beginning, but they kept it from you in the trailer. The whole Asteroid City part of it that you're watching in the trailer that looks so fun and interesting is a stage play. And the real, like, the framing device is like this little story about like the people who were in the play and the guy who wrote the play. And all of that is in black and white. So it just, I don't know. I just don't like it.
See, I do feel like once it gets off that tone shift in black and white, I was probably going to fall off too. So you may be right.
Like, it starts off in the black and white and then goes to color inside of the play and then keeps coming back out into the black and white.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't care for it. I'm not mad at him for trying a thing.
No, it's not even a hard and fast rule that I'd differ on that one. I just occasionally be like, no, that works for me just fine.
Yeah. Check it out. Let me know what you think. We'll talk about it on a Patreon, but it wasn't my, I tried so hard to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It really is to the point where I feel like I've seen so many episodes and talked about so many episodes alone of things, not to mention the movies, that like I do have a framework in place for like, but framing devices like 25% of the time, like down to the point where different types of story structure pieces, I'm like, yeah, but Dave feels this way. There's just a lot of data out there. It's a particular lens to have sitting next to you the whole time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have those in my head. Like, I'll be watching this and be like, Jason will hate this.
Yeah.
Or my mom would hate this. Yeah. Or like I can hear my sister being like, ugh. I've got all these people in my head.
Oh, Dave is not going to like it when they did that. Oh yeah, that camera work is not going to work for Dave in the slightest. No, it got too dark. It got too dark.
Now it's too late.
Yeah,
it's too late.
And then that's just gonna fuck him up. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna have a goddamn seizure. Like, it's just gonna not work. We can't show this today.
We can't show this to Dave.
It really does get more specific over time of just, instead of just like being like, yeah, I just don't think my daughter will like it or whatever. It's just gotten real specific is all.
It's like everything outside of comic books and Star Trek. I feel like there's a huge portion of stuff that I'm like, I will realize that I am enjoying a trailer too much when I realize my wife will hate this movie. And it's not like an action thing. It is the opposite of that. It's like the opposite of what most people think the male-female situation is going to be in this. Like, because it's not going to be like, oh man, these guys have guns and they're taking over a bank or some stupid shit. Like, it's always going to be like, well, this is in black and white and set in the 1940s. And my wife is like, I'm already out. And I'm like, yeah, but it's about Mankiewicz. You know,
bobbing it out of the chair.
Yeah. Or it's just like, oh no, yeah, it's got this guy who's normally a comedian, but he's really sad in this movie, and he sits by a pool.
She's like, cool. So you have a guy that does a job doing a different job that he's not qualified for, and you filmed it. Awesome. I'm gonna tap out for a minute.
Yeah, like we've had situations where it was like, my wife has been sad because she's going to watch a Paul Rudd movie and she knows she's not going to like it because it's just too much of an independent film and it's too boring. But I'm going, finally, Paul Rudd's in a movie I'm going to like.
Finally, something that breathes. Something that shows me what its soul is like. Bethany's like, Jesus Christ. I hope the snacks are good. This is going to be terrible.
Of course, we both agree on Victorian England. We're tired of Victorian England. Yeah, I don't ever want to see another damn thing in Victorian England.
I don't either. I don't know. But me and you were about to leave during the Bridgerton trailer last night. It was
so bad. It was
so bad.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I think I leaned over and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And you're like, I don't know.
Nothing. So far, nothing.
Like, I saw an old white guy kiss his hand and touch a building. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
No, genuinely, there's a moment in the trailer where someone smirks, and I think it's a major plot point. I'm not exaggerating what I just said.
Yeah.
It sounds like the most British joke I've ever made, and I promise it's not even one. It's a description of what I saw.
Yeah. It was like a white lady with brown hair said something to a white lady with blonde hair, and then the white lady with blonde hair did like a little smirky thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think that's supposed to be like, that's what we're ending the trailer on.
I think that was supposed to be like 4 years of payoff or some shit. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And I don't know what they said. Yeah. I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what the fuck's happening here.
Someone was being Britishly kind in the kitchen.
We have gone on such tangent.
Yeah. Dear God, just rip through as many stories as you can real quick as like a speed run.
Okay. I report the Wall Street Journal notes that they are apparently considering a Mr. Terrific TV show and a Jimmy Olsen TV show. We do know that Warner Brothers did register for a Mr. Terrific title, whether it be a TV show or a movie. When he was asked about it on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, Gunn groaned. Can we talk about the things that are out there that I've actually said, as opposed to the whispers online that are sometimes made up and sometimes real? Mm-hmm. But it did look like he was going to say something before that. He just like cut himself off. He's also said that he is very, very cognizant. He has taken note that Crypto and Mr. Terrific were huge, popular entities within this movie. Yeah. So,
they won the movie pretty hard for a lot of people.
Yeah. So there's this report with the Ian Snyder that says the first villain in this anthology show for Jimmy Olsen is going to be Gorilla Grodd. Dude, I don't know what's happening. But you know what? Like, I don't know if this is actually happening, but I would be really happy. That would be fucking dope if they did Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen as a TV series. Like, do the Turtle Boy or whatever the fuck it was. Like
Turtle God thing?
Yeah, like whatever it was with that Jimmy turned into, the Turtle Boy.
Some sort of
like
Euxes battling God monster. I don't know what the fuck it was. Kaiju battle?
Yeah.
Turtle Kaiju battle?
Yeah. And like we're in an age of kaiju battles, so that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like starting with Starro and the Suicide Squad. But
no, I mean Pacific Rim's gonna for sure.
We just had Galactus over in Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And people complaining about that. Like, motherfucker, that's from the comics. Like, you know how many times Galactus like showed up on the street? Way more than you would think.
Yeah.
It's not like current comics where they make him bigger than the fucking Earth itself, you know, where he's just like, his eyeball is like the size of the Earth.
Yeah. I did kind of forget how much it goes back and forth depending on what mood Kirby was in at the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no, that's not true. No, Kirby, well, yeah. That is a difference.
Kirby pretty well stuck to a specific
just a big
size.
old boy.
I feel like
not a space god.
But it's also canonical with Galactus that he looks different to everybody.
True.
So like, and I love that because like if you look at all the different, because they've literally had panels where you see what all these different cultures saw Galactus look like, because he's so incomprehensible. He's such a fucking incomprehensible cosmic being that different species see him different ways. I love this idea that like in the Marvel universe, they're so attuned to this notion of these bigger than life battles with superheroes and supervillains that Galactus just looks like a big ass supervillain, whereas like he looks completely different to different cultures. I kind of like that.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just talking about the comic, not the movie here, but
I do kind of like the reflection thing, but we should do that when that's different.
Yeah, we got to talk about that on the Patreon. Patreon exclusive.
Which we can't record tonight because of this one.
That's true.
Not even sure we're gonna get it edited.
Yeah, no. I told you that at the theater. I was like, we should do this on Patreon, but we're not tomorrow. Because I already knew.
We should lean in. We should do this days from now. Sure.
Yeah. But Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen in that comic, that's the first time we saw Darkseid was in one of those issues.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
So like I would love to see dude, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen set up some big as fuck crazy shit in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
So yeah, it's the kind of that's the kind of mixed scope thing that I think Gunn would have a great time with.
Mm-hmm.
It would astound me if he hasn't seriously considered the idea. And honestly, if he hasn't, it's just just heading out around it.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to do that, but
no,
it'd be fun.
I think deep in his heart, he knows he would have a good time.
So, he unhappy, sad, confused, or actually, dude, he's done so many interviews. I don't know. It's not
everywhere.
It's not
I've
that
looked.
one yet. It's not that one yet. I'm sorry.
It's not even just him. It's other people.
This is a Q&A hosted at the HMV shop in London. On why he turned down directing Superman at first. He says, when I was originally offered to direct Superman back in 2018, I said no. I was daunted by the task. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. Also, if you remember, there was other stuff happening with Superman at the time. And, you know what that was. That was Walter Hamada taking over and not wanting to do any more Superman. And they were dealing with the backlash from Justice League flopping or kind of flopping-ish.
Yeah.
And he said it was going to be politically messy, so I said no, and I took the Suicide Squad, which was a more familiar type of movie to me, which I'm glad I did. That was fun. And then he had said he had a vague idea of having Task Force X contend with Superman, the most powerful hero in the world. And then he was like, he was unsure of answering the question, who is Superman in the DCEU? And he kept thinking about Superman, though. He said, I couldn't get it out of my head. How would I do it if I did it? What would that movie be like? How could I make it work for today's audience? How could it speak to people? And eventually started to think that maybe it was something I could do. So when they reapproached me with the idea for writing Superman 3 years ago, I said yes. Now, apparently on Happy, Sad, Confused, he said he had 3 movie ideas. Initially, a crypto-focused movie where Superman is just chasing him the whole time.
Oh, of course.
Which sounds fun.
Yeah.
What would eventually become Superman 2025. And then a third movie that he cannot talk about yet. That's exciting. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Mm-hmm.
So the toys straight up lied to us. He did say that the Planet Watch Raptor suits were the prototype for the Lex suit, but the Lex suit was never in the script.
That's fantastic.
You know, generally.
Yeah.
Generally, if the toys come out, they're working off of, you know, early character designs and stuff and early versions of the script or something that got edited out. Like, no, they just straight up lied to us.
It makes you wonder sometimes if the departments are just really different and they ship over the final product designs like ready to go, but they're unlabeled. And some guy just sits there and's like, I think I know what this is. And most of the time he gets it right, but occasionally. This looks like it's probably, they're going to put him in the Lex suit. That looks great. No.
Yeah. Oh. Or they were like, hey, I think Spin Master, who did the Lex suit toy, I think they probably just said, hey, we're going to do, here's our prototype for a Raptor. And then they went, oh, yeah, well, here's our Lex head. You know what kids don't buy? Guys in suits.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's a line aimed towards kids.
Oh, sure.
So they're like, you know, we're going to do this like Luthor Corp lab set. Just stick that head on that suit. He has a suit sometimes like that. Yeah. Okay. I think that's what happened.
Just
dude,
somebody cannibalizes it in marketing and says, I don't really give a shit if it's true or not. We're going to put it out this way.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard about the scene that Gunn cut for being too dark and violent?
Mm-hmm. I have.
He says, this was again, Happy, Sad, Confused, the Josh Horowitz cast, which I did not cover a huge chunk of that. Like, it was delightful. It's a great show. Go check it out. But he says there's a really dark thing in there. There was a really dark thing. Once I saw the movie, I'm like, this is too dark. Lex shoots the guy in the head. That was always done in the extreme wide shot, so it's not too graphic, but the guy falls on the ground and blood is pouring out on the platform, and Lex looks down and sees the blood is about to get on his shoes. And Luthor tells Gurkos, get on the ground, soak up Malik's blood from seeping onto his shoes. He says, Gurkos goes, what? No! And Lex looks at him. The delivery's great because he looks at him straight and says, no. And then Gurko sheepishly, sadly trudges forward and lays down on his back. And Gunn does this thing. He says, he's so funny. He lays down on his back, starts soaking up the blood. And he's like wallowing around like the dog scratching his back in the yard. Mm-hmm. And he's like, then Nick looks over at Superman and says, I'll see you tomorrow. And Gunn said that the scene was shot, but was cut pretty early. He says, I don't even think it ever got to a test screening. But dude, he was laughing his dick off the entire time he was talking about that.
Yeah.
I am glad that it's not in there.
Yeah.
I don't like, that was a really sad scene, and I was like really sad for the Malik character, and man, I would have been upset. I actually probably would have been pissed. Like hearing him talk about it made me laugh, but like if I had seen that, I would have been like, that was too much.
I agree. That was a good edit. I think that the visual humor of like trying to clean with your scapula is funny, but like, that scene hits really, really hard as far as the tone of the movie, and it does so because there is no undercut. And I don't think that belonged there. That was a good thing to get rid of it.
Yeah, he said Drew Goddard was really helpful with that. He said, I think he was talking to Collider, and he said, I think there were a couple of little things in the movie, 3 or 4 things that we really argued about in the film, and all of them had to do with things that were a little bit darker or a little bit lighter. And discussing one of them, Drew Goddard was like, you know what? It's just not that film. It's not that film with this little dark ending bit. And I thought, he's right. It's not that film. And so that line, that stuck with him for the rest of the editing, he said. And one of the things they contested hotly was him saving that squirrel during the kaiju battle.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Apparently, like a lot of people in the test screenings just hated that shit.
You know, it's funny though,
but he liked it.
When I saw the squirrel the first time sitting there in the theater, I knew that was going to be controversial, though. Like, did you have the same thought?
I thought it would be hated by people you would think would hate it.
Yeah, kind of, I guess. But I just knew it was going to be seen as like overly silly or I don't know, too fine of a point time to do this in some way. I guess, yeah,
right.
Somebody be like, "Oh my God, this could have been happening. You stopped to save a squirrel." I knew it was going to be a whole battle that was going to be again kind of bore me because it's going to be like you're going to complain about the stop to save a squirrel, and then we're going to get into a whole moral argument of that's the point about stopping. It's a very predictable thing where I was like, oh, they're not going to like that. That's going to be annoying.
Well, I loved that,
it.
but I think it was one of the points of the whole scene because he's desperately going out of his way to keep everyone safe. He's moved this creature into this one part of town where there aren't a bunch of people, and he's trying desperately to keep it that way so he's not keep the thing from falling into buildings and shit. And he's trying to find a way to move it someplace else.
Yeah.
And get it out of harm's way where it could just be happy and live a life. Yeah. And these heroes who have not yet come around to the idea that they need to, be like Superman.
Yeah.
They're just, beating it in the eye with maces. They're, shooting T-spheres down his gullet and shooting T-spheres into his gullet and blowing them up from the inside out. And
my man's out here saving squirrels.
It's a real bummer. Yeah. And I think it's a sharp contrast. You see these guys who are just killing this innocent creature who doesn't know any better. And Superman's over here like doing everything he can, including saving a squirrel. Yeah. I think that's important. It's also very important when you consider the overall story where he realizes that, these Kryptonian parents of his expected him to rule and expected him to kill anyone who got in his way, but he's not willing to do that.
No, he's over here saving our rodents. I know one of the arguments is going to be like, oh my God, it's going to be the whole, he's doing this. And with all that power, again, you have to understand with all that power, he had time. Clearly, he had time. The scene worked out just fine. We saw how the movie played out. Everything worked. He had time to save the squirrel. It was fine. If he hadn't had time to save the squirrel for whatever reason, maybe we'd have a different argument. Well, he didn't have to trolley problem the damn squirrel.
Yeah. Now, Gunn did say, he did try it without the squirrel. But one of the reasons he put it back, aside from just liking him saving the squirrel, even people who made the movie with him were like, don't put the fucking squirrel back in. But he liked it because without the squirrel, there are questions about why is Superman in that spot?
It brought him around.
He literally had to move something. He had to move to a different location to move the squirrel and then had to go back to the fray. Yeah. So, he had to be there for some reason.
Agreed. I mean, maybe a break, but again, only visually. It's Superman. He could have just gotten back around wherever. It helps to visually track him, though, for storytelling, for all the right reasons. Have you seen the casting about what happens to that squirrel, or the fan idea about
that it becomes a Green Lantern?
Yeah. Which I know can't work because we only need one from this sector, right? But
I mean, it can.
I guess maybe in another sector.
They can be like, well, that's a fucking willful squirrel there.
Yeah.
Why don't we? Did really well with that kaiju attack,
Yeah. We find out later that the reason Superman even noticed it was trying to attack the kaiju fearlessly.
Yeah. Squirrel's Batman.
We didn't get to see the little spot before. All we saw was Superman saving it. We didn't realize it was out there going, me. They're about to go after the motherfucker.
Put him over in Sector 7402 with F-sharp bell.
Yeah, that squirrel don't take shit from anybody, man. Hand him a ring.
Yeah.
Superman had to hold that motherfucker back from a kaiju before it could even talk or had a ring. Came at it with its claws. God help us if it gets a yellow one.
So one of the deeply contested things was at the end of the kaiju battle where Superman is talking about we could have saved him, blah blah blah. Guy Gardner says, "Hey," he calls Superman. He said, "Don't be a pussy," and Superman says, "Hey, there are kids here." And Guy says, "Yeah, I said don't be."
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those where I'm kind of glad it's gone. I'm
not. Did you? I think I ran across that one, and I wasn't even sure that one was a real edit.
Oh, it was real. It was real.
Okay. For some reason, I couldn't decide if that one was on Reddit the first time. Definitely go. That one's gone. It didn't have to be there. It doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah, it didn't have to be there. Well, in Guy's head, the bad part about kids being there is the idea that the kids might think it's okay to be a pussy.
I mean, I get, it doesn't really work like it.
It doesn't work as well as you want it to.
Yeah, it only works on first viewing logic.
Yeah.
That is a decent principle, I guess, for me as a viewer, is I want everything to at least work for second viewing logic. Past that, we're going a little picky. Just give me second. Mm-hmm.
Now, apparently he did. It was the last thing that was very, very hotly contested was whether or not Jimmy smiles at the end while he's hugging Eve.
Was it a grimace?
Dude, he did one take where Jimmy just sadly stares into the abyss.
Yeah. Which would have been kind of funny. Yeah.
And I did like, I can't remember what
man gave his life for this story, I guess. Like,
I think he did like 3 different versions of this, but the last one is what they wound up doing, where Jimmy was upset for just a second and then, like, I don't know, smiled. Like he realized like this isn't really bad.
Yeah, he's like, I should embrace this.
Also, like, that was such a thing with like Jimmy in the movie that, like, you know, Lois was like, blah blah blah, your hot girlfriend, and he's like, hot?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like he's got issues.
Yeah.
And there's even a I think I stuck it at the end of the Superman news, but I'll talk about it now. Someone brought it up, like, are we gonna get to see Eve Tessmacher's fucked up mutant feet or something in the Blu-ray? And Gunn was like, no, her feet are normal. Jimmy's got issues.
No, that was on Jimmy. Don't take it the other way. Did you see where I can't remember the source of this at all. I'm sorry. If you ran across it as well, maybe you did. But did you see how who he has in mind when he's thinking about Jimmy as a person that has sex appeal? His buddy Pete Davidson. Like,
that's interesting.
That makes so much more sense for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, one of the mysteries of the movie, just as a viewer, is like, wait a second, this guy's, we're going against cast here to make him the attractive one in the office. So, okay. But the movie doesn't really stop to oversell that for you. It just makes you an assumption. So, like, if it works for you, it's great. If it's not, it's something you're going to be held up on.
Yeah.
It makes more sense that he's thinking of it as a Pete Davidson, who regularly is just like, I don't even know how you're involved with these women. I'm deeply confused, but like clearly you have something that I don't understand. And okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, it's a real thing. Like my roommate in college, like short guy, skinny. I wouldn't call him attractive. Like kind of treated women badly, and women were like all about him. Like, all about him. Yeah. And I was just like, I don't understand. I never got it. And then I realized, like, oh, you just treat them really, really horribly, and they think you have something going for you. Gotcha. But, in
this version, he's just
hopefully Jimmy's not as bad as that guy was.
Presumably not. He it comes across as just aloof, I guess, in his version.
Yeah, aloof and confused.
Yeah. Which I gather is,
but he's also a dick.
Kind of. I gather that's a little bit of the secret sauce with, like, somehow Pete is just a little bit like disconnected, and that kind of like, I don't really care. I guess I'm interested, maybe, and I don't know. It works.
Yeah, I don't think Pete Davidson's necessarily a total dick to these people. I don't know what he does in his role.
No, just
Jimmy seems like a dick. Jimmy is actively calling her mutant toes, for God's sake.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I just mean the aloof part.
Yeah. All right, so I don't think we ever really talked about it. You could probably guess what our stance on this is. The whole is Superman suddenly an immigrant in this version. Y'all, I remember my uncle getting mad because they said he was an immigrant on Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
That's absolutely always been a thing, though.
Yeah.
And I don't care what Dean Cain says.
No.
They did tackle that in one of his episodes. They absolutely did. It's been talked about on Smallville. Shit was done. Like, they falsified papers in the original shit. Like, he's not a
that one.
He's not a citizen.
Yeah.
Legally.
It's a known thing.
All I'm saying.
There's the whole great graphic novels named after exactly this idea. And wonderful ones. Like, and this one, thankfully, isn't one that's crept into my real life. Like, I haven't actually encountered someone on the street or a friend or relative that really needed me to break this down for them in IRL terms. But
I have.
I know. I think you got hit a couple times, but I've missed all the bullets so far.
Yeah. So
protect yourself.
That's been a whole thing. I don't understand how you don't know that Superman is an immigrant and like he's literally from another planet.
Yeah. And I'm just throwing this out there. Why you give a shit?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like,
These are both points I think need to be, pretty well explained to me before I give a damn about your opinion on it. But
yes.
But
I mean, you didn't. I guess it makes some sense that some people don't know that Superman's creators were two Jewish immigrants. Yeah. Whatever, man. That he was a champion of the oppressed.
Yeah,
like, whatever. You don't know. I guess it's all about that truth, justice, and the American way, which they've taken away in this movie now. No. They took that away a long time ago.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like it's a weird news cycle, and hell, even at this point in our podcast as I speak, you either kind of agree with us or just turn it off a few seconds ago. It's just, you're not going to be won or lost by this. It was a politicized weird thing that get brought into the movie's culture. It otherwise has fucking nothing to do with this movie.
It was a distraction. Yeah. It was a distraction from you know what.
We ain't got to say.
All right. So, are we defining Superman's sequel?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't have any definition for it. Someone did Superman. Sorry, Gunn said Superman is very important. When he was talking about the next film that he's working on, he said it isn't Batman v Superman, and he shook his head no when Josh Horowitz said "World's Finest." Now, before Superman released in theaters on Threads, someone asked if it was a Superman sequel that he was working on, and he said define Superman 2.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the secret project is.
No.
And it seems like there are more than one secret projects. It seems like there's more than one going on.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I think I feel like there's been 2 or 3 times where he's been cagey around different subjects.
Absolutely. Now look, here's the thing. a few days ago over on Threads, I read this fantastic theory from _Lolo_D_Dragon, and I loved this theory. And I said, dude, I'm gonna fucking read this theory on the air. I love this theory. And his theory is, he says he's got to put up the spoiler thing, which he did. He says, I'm pretty sure the secret project is Legion of Superheroes. Here are his reasons why. 1, Gunn has said Superman is very important to his next movie. Superman is the reason the Legion do what they do. Superman is their inspiration. 2, Gunn has said no one has made a comic book movie like this before, and he'd be correct. No one has made an entire movie that takes place in the future of their universe. Sure, we have seen a few movies that show a couple scenes in the future, BVS, Days of Future Past, but not a full-blown movie in the far future. 3, pretty sure a Terrifics movie or show is on the horizon. Dude, I would love that. Mm-hmm. So you have half the team in Superman. Absolutely do. Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho. Adding Plastic Man wouldn't be hard, but the audience needs to be introduced to the Legion in order for Phantom Girl to show up. Yes. Also, if a Booster Gold show is coming, you need to explain his Legion flight ring. 4, Supergirl has a very close connection to the Legion, first meeting them way back in the 1960s. If you want to continue her story, it would make sense to have her go to the future to join the Legion. 5, Gunn excels at team-based comic book movies. Legion of Superheroes is right up his alley. It's weird, wacky, and fun with lots of personalities for him to explore. Those are my reasons. Guess we'll see. Gunn said today in an interview that we'll find out about his secret project sooner rather than later. Now, I said we would read this on the show. I love the theory.
Yeah.
I think there might be something to it.
I think there's a couple of other groups that might, I don't know. I mean, you could make just as good a chance for just a random Justice Gang kind of team up thing, but rather than just a proper Superman 2 kind of expanding like almost like X-Men 2 kind of, or Deadpool 2 kind of thing. But, or Deadpool 3, really. But yeah, you can make it sound like it's going to be more like that, more of a the gang's here kind of type sequel.
Yeah.
There's 0 points against that, and it'd be exciting as hell. I'd love to see that.
So Lolo D Dragon, I feel like that was a fantastic theory. I want that theory to be real. Here's what Gunn said though in the latest Rolling Stone interview he did.
That was a thick interview.
They said the tone of this movie is very much a Superman, where the 31st century team, the Legion of Superheroes, could exist. What are your thoughts about that for the DCU? James Gunn says, I've thought about it. I'm not a time travel person. I like science fiction, but time travel's a rough one for me. I am not into that. I'm not really into teleportation either. I have weird things that just aren't for me. Now, you could say that the pocket universe is teleportation, but I don't really think of it as that. I think of it as traveling from one point in dimensional space to another as opposed to teleporting, which I think of as the person dying and being recreated.
100% with him on that, by the way.
Sure. That's what I like about teleporting, actually.
I think there's a lot of interesting storytelling there. I have issues with like myself Prime and a teleporter too.
Right.
So I get his not wanting to mess around with it.
Right.
Time travel, I can have a lot of fun with time travel myself. I don't understand the aversion to that one.
So I don't understand his stance on time travel, and it's a bummer because like I love that theory, and I saw that in the interview, and I was like, "Well, fuck, man."
Yeah, but some characters timed like there's a Chronos in this universe that like he is gonna deal with it. Just because he doesn't like it doesn't mean he's not gonna have to be a big boy about it and do some stuff. That may be somebody else's wheelhouse. That movie.
Well, that's the other thing. He announced Booster Gold, motherfucker. What do you think Booster Gold did? Yeah. Now, maybe he just means that it's not something he personally wants to tackle. You know what I mean? Like, if he was just like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't like time travel. If I could wrap my head around it. Like, Gunn seems open to things, but he also seems very like, I don't want to deal with this specifically. Yeah. Like, you can't do Booster Gold and not do time travel.
Yeah, it's impossible.
We know that that's happening. We know Booster Gold is happening. The part of what we're talking about, well, we can talk about it now, I guess, but one of the things is that they've got a new showrunner, the guy that did Our Flag Means Death.
Ooh.
So
that's always exciting.
Yeah, I'll get into that later more. But yeah, I just don't see I don't see a way James Gunn can helm the DCU and not fuck around with time travel.
Yeah. He's going to cross that bridge one way or the other. But
if you're really doing it, like Gunn has said a few things lately that have been like, say what now? Like, what? You have a hang up about what?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing? Yeah. Like, I mean, I do think he knows what he's doing. I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, not in a mean way. I just mean like, bro, it's the DC universe. Yeah. Like, there's going to be some weird shit. And look, he did tackle Superman, and, he never liked the glasses thing until Tom King was like, they're hypno glasses, right? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, hopefully, when the time comes, we'll have our Drew Goddards, we'll have our Tom Kings standing.
Ready to defend time travel.
In lockstep saying, James, there are things you must understand.
You're right. And will there be
some things you can do with the time travel?
Will someone be there to defend teleportation? No, because who cares? And there are other ways to do things, clearly.
Yeah. Also, you could just say that any teleportation is opening a rift in dimension. You could just say whatever fucking. It doesn't have to be dematerialization.
I mean, that's kind of my issue with it. Is I don't have a super plausible at hand theory that doesn't suspend my disbelief to some extent.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's how I interpret it when they say I have a problem with time travel or whatever. I have so many. I wrestle with the issue of its existence so much that if you bring it up, it will bring me out of the story.
Yeah, dude. I'm also like, I'm reading these interviews or watching these interviews, and I'm going, James, how ADHD are you?
Mm-hmm. Extremely.
Because I'm seeing some dolphining, like fucking heavy dolphining. Like, what are we talking about? He's talking about time travel, and all of a sudden he's talking about teleportation. Nah. You did some dolphining in your brain. I recognize that behavior because I'm that person.
I see him as a category of like, there's like this category of story functions that I don't like. Here's the set of tropes that I won't personally like to lean on, but like you said though, that doesn't mean.
That doesn't mean he won't do it.
And doesn't even necessarily have a plan for it in place. Like you said, Booster Gold, you got to rewrite the character. And it, from some of the Gunn ethos, seems to be that not just to leave it if you don't have to kind of thing. Well, I guess leave it if you don't have to is a good way of putting it, actually. No need to fuck with it just for the sake of it. And then he seems to like to mess with things as little as possible because he kind of wants to keep a lot of what people know in place and not just move it. But like, there's a good reason, like Krypton.
Yeah, or but if it's not a well-known thing, he'll fuck with it as much as he can.
Yeah,
or as much as he wants to anyway. I'm not at all saying he should be fired or anything. No, I have deeply enjoyed everything the man's made.
I feel like even phrasing it the way you just did, someone's going to be like, what do you mean? Wait, you brought up fired. What, are you thinking about it? Like, no, that's not what I meant.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, no, this every little thing that this guy says, that Gunn says, they're like, see, he doesn't understand it. And I'm like, y'all. By the way, can we just do a little caveat here and just a little dip? Not James Gunn. Zack Snyder never said that there's a fucking grave with Earth crypto in it that Jonathan Kent put down to teach Clark about the fragility of life. That is a thing that keeps going around that Zack Snyder said, and he did not say that shit. I can't find anywhere where it actually came from except for a stupid damn post on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
Jonathan Kent Zack Snyder's Jonathan Kent did not buy Clark a puppy to shoot it.
That's called child abuse.
And teach him about the fragility of life. Yeah. Like, y'all are full of shit.
Yeah.
And someone wrote that just to get people upset about Zack. And it worked. People are like, this is why Zack should never have the universe. Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
We've hit another point where it genuinely used to be, and this was true, I think, about 4 or 5 years ago, that like if the source of something was a Reddit post, it was almost certainly going to be absolute bullshit that was going to be complete. Like if not a lie that's innocuous, a lie that was meant to be there and malevolent. And now that's Facebook. If you look into it a couple clicks and you can only find a Facebook post that says it, just move on with your life. I promise. You'll be okay 99 times out of 100 right now. If you're not, you'll find it somewhere else. I promise you.
Yeah. Now look, I have not been able to find the source where Zack said that. If you actually know, if it's real somehow, and send it to me, please. dconscreen@gmail.com. I'll be the first to go like, oh yeah, that's fucked up.
I mean,
as
far as
there's been plenty of things
sources that would effectively be breaking that story. So hit us up. Great. Sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. There are plenty of things I don't agree with Zack Snyder on. It's okay. Jimmy Olsen's death, not a good thing. That probably wasn't a good call. Snapping Zod's next. There's precedent, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. I mean,
I wouldn't have done either. I think
I know.
It's the same thing I've said a million times, but like for what they were in both cases, I thought they were just fine and did great on screen. I wouldn't have probably done them if you let me from the gate pick.
Mm-hmm.
But as the meeting unfolded in front of me and the pitch kept going, I'd have been like, yeah, no, that makes sense though. Let's do it. I would have bought it. I would have literally put money into the thing and said budget that movie. So I would have to be like, I would have to take responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you think about it, it's like, okay, well, Superman killed Zod in the Burn Run, in the Man of Steel Burn Run. Okay. Yeah. Oh, he killed him in Superman 2, as far as you could tell, without looking at the fucking deleted scenes where the cops are taking them away somehow. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, okay, so Superman 2, you say, okay, yeah, it looks like he threw him. It looks like they killed him. Cool. I never would have thought like, oh yeah, that's going to be like the major thing. That's going to be the thing that makes everyone hate Man of Steel, which it's not. It's a lot of superfluous bullshit.
It was the Pearl Jam song.
It's a bunch of hyperbole about how dark and awful it is. Yeah. And I'm like, y'all haven't really paid attention to the movie. I mean, the colors, the color grading was dark, but like,
I never cared about that.
I get it. I mean, you did care about that. We have a first episode. I've heard that we talked about it at length. Yeah. But
I was just never a deterrent.
I love you, Jason. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. We did have, I think you said something like, I want to see an Aquaman in orange who swims in an ocean that's blue. We did have a problem with the Snyder cinematography. That's with the color grading anyway. Not the cinematography. That's always great. Yeah. But also, I think it was like one of the first 5 shows where we were like, okay, now people are just like making it damn near black and white and lowering the shadow on it that it looks much darker.
And, like sepia tone it, and they're like, oh my God, look how.
Yeah. Well, it's bullshit. But yeah, no, Henry's Superman was far more hopeful, by the way. And by the way, also, David Goyer watched Man of Steel. I mean, David Goyer, who wrote Man of Steel and BVS, he watched the new Superman. He liked it. So, fuck off. I'm all over the place. I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. Superman's Easter egg-filled Hall of Justice mural. He released that shit online. People have already figured out who everybody was.
Thank God, because I did not have time to sit down with it.
And look, okay, so here's the list.
Okay.
Sister Symmetry, Silent Night,
Okay.
Exoristos.
See, I knew on the first name that I knew I was supposed to pull out my DC Comics encyclopedia before you started giving me this damn list.
No, hold on. I'll get there. I'll get there. Because there are a lot of people. Black Pirate, Miss Liberty, Whip Whirlwind, Super Chief, El Diablo, Hugo Danner, The Ghost of Flanders, Sandman, Amazing Man, Zatara, Liberty Bell, Bullet Man, Max Mercury, Bullet Girl, TNT, Dynamite, Phantom Lady, Atomic Knight, Freedom Beast, Wildcat, Vibe, Gunfire, and finally, Sean Gunn's Maxwell Lord.
Okay.
And I kind of do feel like that is not for this episode.
No,
but
we should break those down. We should
break all of these down.
I tried to count in my head as you were doing it, and I think I'm only 1 or 2 over the 50% knowing who the fuck you're talking about off the top of my head mark. It is right at a coin toss whether I even recognize the name you just said.
Yeah, there are some I know. Like, I know Freedom Beast is like the guy who took over for Buana Beast, you know? Like, I know who Wildcat is, obviously. I know who Vibe is.
Yeah.
You know,
even like
Liberty Bell, Zatara.
Phantom Lady, I know you can get that kind of stuff a little bit like
El Diablo.
Yeah, we're going to see that one.
But yeah, we need to do like a Hall of Justice sized episode of Comic Castaways.
With just the breakaways from them. Yeah, we should do that. God, we're going to schedule that soon too. Okay. We'll pencil that in. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll do some Foley work. There we go. That ruins a G2 pin, by the way, to make that sound.
Gunn says there was a ton of thought put into who went on that mural. A ton of thought. And when asked if audiences could expect to see the heroes depicted in the artwork appear in upcoming DCU projects, Gunn said, not necessarily specifically see all of them, but yes, some of them we already have in the works in different things in different ways.
Yeah. Sometimes I think Gunn just wants to do the Skeletor gif out of a room and go, ha-ha, and just run, like, excited, like, you'll see.
Yep. I think so, man. I think so. I'm excited, though. Like, I definitely want to do something. And I don't even know. Honestly, it might not even be a Comic Castaways that we put on Patreon. I kind of feel like it might need to be like an actual episode of the show.
Yeah, that one probably might be. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, we're talking about, like, big-time fucking DCU shit here, man.
It is. We'll have to hope that the latest edition that I've remembered to have contains all of these names, because I have not looked them up. And I think you just spit out like 14 or 16 of them.
Yeah, well, we've got the internet as well.
Whatever's left of it.
Gunn has confirmed that this dimensional imp in Superman was not Mr. Mxyzptlk. He says, no, he's just a stupid, basic imp. He's nowhere near as powerful as Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Yeah. We thought it was, of course.
I did not think it was.
I thought we did. Yeah, I was... I guess you pointed out, they just said this. Yeah, it cracks me up, though, to learn that this was just a basic bitch imp.
Right. They never even said a fifth dimensional imp. This is just a dimensional imp. It was just a random dimensional imp.
I think they have to have an origin number, I feel like, for some reason, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah,
maybe. Could have been a fourth dimensional imp.
I think those are those are just imps that can time travel.
Right.
A three-dimensional imp.
Oh, he's not going to do time travel. He's not going to do fucking time travel, Jason. He hates time travel.
The fifth dimensional part's the imagination bit. I don't even know what sixth is, but I'm scared of it.
Yeah. So a lot of people have been asking, why didn't Supergirl tell Superman about the message?
We had an in-canon answer ourselves, which was basically, why would you?
Yeah, well, first of all, like, they're cousins. My family is a lot different than any of my cousins' families.
we weren't privy to the weird shit they said, in their household until years later. We all became friends on Facebook, and they were like, you know what my dad used to say about your dad?
Yeah. Right. Of course.
We didn't know about all that. So there's that, but
the phrase you hear around here is, your cousins, and they'll emphasize the word weird. That means we don't agree with this, but we are related.
Yeah. Now, in an interview, they said, I think people want to be reassured that there's a good explanation for why Supergirl didn't tell Superman about his parents, since she's presumably more knowledgeable about Krypton, and Gunn says you are assuming that everybody on Krypton is the same. And how would she know? She's younger than him, so she wouldn't know. She wouldn't know anything about his parents. And he reiterated on Threads, she didn't know his parents. Now, it's interesting that he says that she's younger than him, because traditionally, she was sent ahead of him as a teenager. So she is technically older than him, but she got lost sometimes in the Phantom Zone. There's little different variations there. But when she arrives, she's still a teenager.
A good bit. The one I'm most familiar with is that she's kind of a teenager. Clark was just kind of just about to be born in her version of just regular life in Argo City or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And then, shit goes down, and then she just gets delayed in Nowheresville longer and shows up, and he's a grown-ass man now. And she's like, well, but I feel protective because you were my cousin I was about to have, That's the version I'm familiar with. But the timing gets knocked around all the time. Much like like rockets in a Phantom Zone.
And he's been cagey. He doesn't want to talk about it exactly what we're going to see. He's literally said you're just going to have to see in the Supergirl movie. But if they're going by Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow from Tom King, they were just that chunk of Krypton was just out in the middle of space. They were just doing everything they could to survive.
Yeah, she spent years there. In real time, years.
Yeah. This isn't a really she wouldn't have known Jor-El and his kin.
Yeah. Whatever they're going to do, let's put it this way. Whatever the plan is, or how closely they may or may not follow One of Tomorrow, and small spoiler, there's a reason we see her drunk in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what details will follow, but there will be a reason for that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So a lot of people upset about it's not that many actually, but you see it. I've been seeing it. People are like, I don't understand why he had to change everything and make the parents from Krypton want him to conquer the Earth. Well, they're not bad people. They don't think that they're being horrible about this. They're just like, hey, go shepherd these people into the light.
An ant has no quarrel with a boot.
Yeah. So in this Rolling Stone interview, they said, did the original idea for the Jor-El and Lara twist come from your reading of the John Byrne comic, where Krypton was cold and sterile, and Clark embraced Earth over Krypton? Gunn says, yeah. Listen, I read that when it came out. I definitely had that in my head, and isn't it also a little bit in Birthright too? So I did have the comic background excuse to do it. Real ones know this. I knew this. You knew this.
He brings receipts when he needs to.
Yeah, this is not the first time Jor-El in the comics has showed up and been a cock. They did it in Smallville. They did it in Birthright. They did it Man of Steel.
I couldn't remember the name of this run.
In this Man of Steel.
I think I mentioned it on the show maybe last time. Oz Effect, though, was the last run.
Yeah, the Oz Effect.
The run that I
Absolutely.
couldn't remember the other day. Yeah, what a dick.
Yeah, dude just shows up. He's a dick. The Rolling Stone interview said, even among people who love the movie, there are some who also have enough of a lingering affection for Krypton and the idea of a benign Jor-El and Lara that they're hoping that will somehow get retconned or revealed as a double secret trick or something. I even proffered that might be a thing. Gunn says they're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Diplomacy. I thought I was bad at being diplomatic.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. You know what? I'm fine.
None of the theories that we're building had anything stopping them from working other than just, do you want to or not? And I think this is just one of the things where he's that is where the stakes are going to be. That one's real. There's no going back. Sorry.
Yeah. Rolling Stone said the problem is fundamentally that would undo the entire emotional arc of the movie.
And Gunn says, that's right. That's the whole point of the movie, that Superman thinks he is doing something because it is his destiny, and his Kryptonian parents have set him out to do this thing. And along the way, he discovers, through the love of the people who are actually his parents, that he's doing these things not because of someone else, but because of himself. It's like taking accountability in the deepest way possible, that his morality is not based on some figure outside of himself, but his own choices. Yeah. I think it's really beautiful in that way, and I'm not going to change it.
I haven't.
And I don't really... And he says, I don't really think Jor-El and Lara are being totally evil. They just have this mindset that humans are less than what they are. We're sea turtles to them. They're not just trying to keep they're just trying to keep the Kryptonian genes alive.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. What were you about to say?
I just realized how much this is like a whole nature versus nurture argument that he's just deeply... I hadn't put it in the language of nature versus nurture, but that's the entire film right there.
Mm-hmm. They asked, will we see Ultraman again? He says, maybe. Now look, here, dude, I've been seeing this fan theory going around about Ultraman that I really like. And I was not a big fan of the idea that he was a version of Bizarro, which he totally is. But like him, yeah, like I've seen this theory going around that he gets sucked into the black hole, and he starts piecing together his world. He makes his little block world or whatever. He's clearly not as smart as Superman by a stretch. But the theory is that, you know, pretty much most of the time, all they were saying to him, Lex was just yelling codes at him, like A1 or whatever. And that the code to get back up is B0. And he keeps just trying to get back up and saying B0, 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 Bizarro, Bizarro, Bizarro. I like that theory.
That's fun.
That's fun, yeah. If they get around to it, who knows?
I mean, the most attached I've been to it is just the idea that he's going to go into a weird, condensed sort of non-reality kind of thing where I guess he might be strong enough to try to rebuild because maybe he's strong enough to survive a black hole kind of situation, but it would change him pretty substantially. And then also there were a bunch of cubes pouring into that hole as well. Like that's the closest I've been to being like, I don't know, maybe there was a plan there.
Yeah, maybe there's something.
I don't know with him using a black hole. It's a deeply you don't have to see the shoe fall off kind of death.
Right. And
I don't know.
Here's the thing. It also doesn't have to be a real black hole. They could make some bullshit science up because you know what else is bullshit science? Superman being able to blow his way out of a black hole.
I mean, yeah, in a way.
I don't think that's a real thing. I don't think this is something they did in the Fantastic Four movie too. I'm just like, no, all those fuckers would be dead. like everybody's just flying out of black holes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie, they just flew out of a fucking black hole. And I'm like, that's not how that works.
Black holes are just kind of like the new quicksand, you know?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And we saw what happened to but we saw what happened to Atreyu's horse. These kids these days are soft. They could just blow their way out of a fucking black hole. That horse died in quicksand.
I did run across a video the other day of a guy, a French dude, who worked himself into around chest height in the quicksand and then worked himself out like a weird little fish and rolled over. Huh. I meant to send that to everyone that's my age just to be like, no, it's doable.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I saw in the vicinity that he could grab onto.
Yeah. I don't know what I saw. It was something online someone had written something to the effect of, movies and television had me thinking quicksand was going to be a much deeper problem than it wound up being in my life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a standard. Yeah.
Like, everybody was in quicksand.
Yeah.
Like, freaking Wormwood and animated series had Batman in the quicksand, and, like, every time I turn on a Looney Tune, they're in some quicksand. Like, there's just, like I said, you know, Atreyu's horse and never-ending story.
I thought basically anything that was lush enough might just have quicksand hanging around.
Yeah.
Or dry enough. I didn't really know. The animators weren't very particular about where to put it. Or the writers.
Yeah. I mean, I would remember being worried and going to the beach and going like, is there going to be some quicksand? No. Why would you think? I mean, don't go into the ocean because there's at a certain time because there's going to be like an undertow. But
there's a current that will kill you. That's the same. You want to call it that? No, but paradoxically enough, you go out there thinking like, I wonder if there's quicksand, kind of worried. And then you find out there's not. And you start trying to make it. You start trying to pour water into the hole at the right rate to make it, and just it kind of works.
Yeah, sure.
Spent a lot of time in that hole. Crabs were annoyed all afternoon.
Over in the Rolling Stone article, they said they asked Gunn. I was surprised that some people thought the movie was too fast paced, and I wonder if it's because people have gotten too used to the rhythms of television and to movies cut to the rhythms of television. So I'm curious what you were thinking as far as pacing and energy with this movie. I feel like this interviewer had some sort of axe to grind with this question, but it was very interesting. But Gunn says, when you test movies, almost always, especially in the early test screenings, one of the main questions they ask is it too slow? Is it too fast? Is it just right? And my movies have always had an overabundance of too fast compared to too slow, because I am not indulgent. I just don't give a shit about my little precious moments that are so important to me in making a movie. I want to create something that is as streamlined as possible. And if that means I go too fast, sometimes I do. And so it really is about pulling back. That is a thing I think about Gunn's movies. They are a little fast paced. There are times where you need to let it breathe. I think that. And it's funny that you talked about that earlier when you made that reference to me, just wanting to let things breathe.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
Because I am that guy. And if that's one of the reasons, not the only reasons, but it's one of the reasons that I specifically had a lot of problems making anything on YouTube back in the day, because people were literally taking a chunk. When I got out and said, I'm not doing this shit anymore, people were literally taking their best bit in the video and putting it up front as a little mini trailer for the fucking 3-minute video. And I went, I'm just not doing that. I'm just not.
The early days of just content editing were just way. You knew early on, this is not my lifestyle at all. No.
Yeah. It's just
I made a few
vines. I made a few vines, and I thought this is the most joyless thing I have ever conducted. Just trying to rattle off dialogue in the fastest way possible, because I'm not capable of writing short form comedy.
It was not for us. Now, I do appreciate, though, in a way that Gunn's basically answering this question by saying, yeah, I do that.
Yeah. But also going, I don't give a shit.
I mean, it's that's what my movies are like. I mean, yeah, I agree. And it not that the conversation doesn't hit for me, because that wasn't an issue. I think, in our first review, I thought the pacing was maybe the one thing where I was like, man, I had trouble catching up. And then the second one, I realized that, I think the pacing was just because I was in my head and couldn't catch up. I think when I saw it, I was no, I'm good with the pacing. It moved at the speed that the movie should move. I just wasn't prepared to watch it. But
I think it is a little fast for me still. But I think it's weird that it's not weird. It makes sense. But he lets shit breathe on TV, Creature Commandos and Peacemaker, that fucking stuff.
Very much so.
He let it breathe.
And
he let it breathe.
There is more breathing in here than you would think. Somewhere it was pointed out that conversation, that interview, that uninterrupted scene with the interview is 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Yeah.
That is a lot of fucking breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And not the only time they do that. I mean, I know there's the baseball bat and the imp in the background, but the other conversation's got to be another 10. They specifically take Lois as a grounding rod the entire movie, and we gotta give it a little credit here.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give it credit. I love that scene. That's maybe my favorite scene in the film. I could have used more of that, but that's me as well. That's just who I am. And it's also hard for me, I'm not a professional or anything, but as a creative and someone who enjoys movies and has written, I like slow shit a lot of times. So, I mean, I'm always going to have that I may have done this a little differently. It doesn't mean I don't love the movie.
Yeah.
Every movie is almost every movie, I should say, is something I would change. Shaun of the Dead, what I would change. We've had that conversation.
God, I can't remember. What is it?
Oh, it's the bit where they pretend to be zombies to get to the bar.
Yeah.
I kind of just hate that. I kind of hate that.
I think your issue was just that you thought it just is silly or something.
I would think that the zombies would be able to sense living creatures instead. They wouldn't be easily fooled.
That they wouldn't roll with that. I see.
Yeah, I've never seen a zombie movie where they're just fooled like that
by the acting alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, when I know we've had this conversation, I'm sure I just forgot it now.
Yeah.
I think the idea was that the conceit was that no one has ever in the history of filmmaking or zombies or inside this particular film, no one else has tried to escape via acting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's definitely off, but I think that was the point.
Maybe. I mean, it's a near perfect movie. So.
I still, as I've also said, I like to call it a perfect movie, even though I know. But I like to think that there is something I can call that, and that's the closest thing I know to it. So why not?
Yeah. Yeah. But also, we don't know how these zombies work in Shaun of the Dead. So they do everything in their power to not tell us anything about the fucking zombies and why it happened. So
you can do stuff like have them act their way out of a situation. So there's not enough rules that you can be worried about breaking them.
Right. I need to watch all of those movies again. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and whatever that one was called. That World's End. God,
those throw in a little Paul if you want to just have like an addendum that feels right but isn't.
Mm-hmm. What makes it not part of that? They don't have a cornetto and it wasn't Edgar Wright, right?
Yeah, it's not proper Cornetto trilogy. It was written as a Cornetto. I don't know how much. I don't remember. I forget at this point if the outset was I'm going to do these 3. I know they wanted to do 3. Like the idea was not that the third movie was going to be at World's End. They didn't have all that together. They just ended up kind of in the middle of it. I feel like it's like a definition that as they were going applied, and it became the Cornetto trilogy. That is what they call it now after the fact, without exception. And Paul is just something that was very close to it in spirit. That happened around the same time, but it was not involving enough people.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But a great adventure, great little adventure by itself.
So at the Picture House podcast, Gunn says, I didn't want a Superman who was perfect in any way. Nobody's perfect. Even Superman loses his temper. Even Superman throws the desk across the room with Lex. He did in the animated series. Do you remember that?
Not with Lex
Gunn says,
but it's been a long time now.
Well, maybe I'm just misremembering it, but I
you
thought
probably do. It's really genuinely been about 12, 14 years since I've rewatched that series. So I've only got some of the highlight reel now.
And I just have a good imagination, so it might not have even happened.
Mm-hmm. In the future, we're going to go, did you AI that memory?
Yeah, I can.
Close enough,
Yeah. Like, sometimes when I get spoiled, and it's funny because Matt Carroll over on Star Trek Cast, DCU Cast as well, not MCU Cast as well, we I don't know if this is a power that we both got hanging out together, or if we're just acutely aware of certain things. I think you've mentioned being able to do it as well, where like we will get spoiled on a TV show or movie and just like talk ourselves into misremembering it completely. To where it's like, no, I didn't need to know that. And then like you just like come up with scenarios like, well, that could have meant this and that could have meant that, and until you don't even know what the fuck you read or heard, and then you watch the thing and you're like, oh, that's what happened. Cool.
Yes. We're taking what is, in a relationship, a deeply unhealthy set of behaviors that you should definitely see someone about if you ever find yourself doing anything like what we just described. But in this context, is fantastic and wonderful. Yeah, because we just basically try to like gaslight the idea of there even being memory. Are you kidding? I can't even know. I can't know about yesterday either. I guess really just what's breakfast. Right. I don't even know if I had that.
Terrible day. It was a terrible day. You just erase it.
And then after I've seen whatever it is, so I can get, once I'm off the hook, then I can remember everything with good enough clarity.
Anyway, Gunn says that that's something Superman probably shouldn't have done, throwing the desk, but defended it, saying, I like that even the things that he does that are imperfect are because of the goodness and pureness of his heart. I was really excited with the interview scene of Clark and Lois actually talking about their real lives and the way they approach the world and what their morals are and what their differences are, and really seeing those in a human way. Yeah. Not taking anything away from who Superman is as an icon, just getting to know him from a different point of view. That is exciting and fun to me.
See, I think throwing the desk, stuff like that, the line about the punk rock thing would fall very flat for me were it not for these bursts of anger. Like how mad he is about like, people are going to die. And just where's the dog? Like at the very, very basest level, it's just really about, I mean, he just gets angry when he can't get to the people he wants to get to save them. That's the rock side of it. I love it.
Now, in an interview Frank Grillo said, I think the next time, if they don't fire me, the next time I'm in something, I have the white hair.
Makes it sound like there's 2 complaints into HR right now that he's worried about a meeting for.
Yeah.
All right, next Wednesday at 8:45, I got a Zoom meeting. If we make it through that.
Yeah. Yeah. But Frank Grillo said, people were very upset that he had the black hair in Superman.
Yeah.
He says, and in Peacemaker, it looks like, he says, I was on another show, Tulsa King. It was literally back to back. And during, I couldn't go white. He says the internet in general was very mean about my dark hair.
Sorry.
I mean, we just wanted to understand, man.
The animation adds 10 shades.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
It does. All right. So we're moving on from Superman.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Okay. That might be the most we talk about Superman news-wise post Superman.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I feel like things are wrapping up. This has been like 3 weeks of news. I think the Superman news might die down. Yeah. Might talk about box office again. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, and a lot of it. I mean, they ended they're at home from a lot of those press things that we're just getting all the stuff from. We are now. This is us covering a lot of the stuff that they're tired about right now.
Well, this weekend is wrapping up. They're doing Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's true.
And he's talking about Peacemaker.
Yeah. I forgot that was actually this weekend. All right, so after that, they're going to be at home.
Yeah. But he is talking a lot more on Threads. He's back to answering questions on there. He's showed up and talked about Peacemaker, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Sandman, the rest of season 2 is now out in its entirety on Netflix. It did do really well. It was in the top 10 chart the first week it came out. I haven't really paid any more attention to it. I haven't seen it yet. I can't get there. I can't wrap my brain around watching it.
I'm
right now.
Stuck to
because of the Neil Gaiman allegations and
the Neil Gaiman of it all. Neil Gaiman of it all is hard for me to swallow at this moment. But I'm still on the fence. I might try to just do it. Like on the the Neil Gaiman of it all. That all hurts in a way. But on the other hand, there was just a bunch of people working on something really hard, and I don't want to.
You don't want to take away. You want to see their work.
Yeah. So I'm torn. I feel like I'm trying to talk myself into it, and once I've knocked out a couple of things that I'm like into right now, and I had to hit that little inspiration gap or motivation gap where I'm looking for the next thing. That I think I'm going to try again and see how it goes.
I might. I think I will eventually get around to it, but it might.
I know I will. I will finish that show. I just don't know if I have it in me right this second. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's not going to be a situation where I can make this happen in a timely manner to review it on the show. On this show, I'm aware that Sandman is DC. Yeah. No, I had a lot of love for Neil Gaiman and his work, and I'm still kind of mourning that and still angry with him and having some trouble. I don't think I'll enjoy the show. I think I'll just be sitting there thinking about sexual assault the whole time and plagiarism.
And I get it. I get it.
I don't want to think about that shit now.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe it'll be what I use to watch it so I can move on, is watching it knowing it's a thing that I'm going to consider past tense and just take it for what it is.
Over to Peacemaker. Gunn does say Peacemaker is a direct follow-up to Superman. It has so many characters from Superman. Rick Flag is in it. Hawk Girl, Maxwell Lord, Guy Gardner. It is a direct follow-up to Superman, but it is very R-rated. At the Comic-Con, he said maybe there's going to be a couple more people wandering these halls that are also in Superman and in Peacemaker Season 2. He's not telling who.
Did I see as well that he said it was 1 month after?
Time-wise? In the timeline of the show? I don't know.
Maybe so, but I glanced at that one and moved on. Sorry.
I didn't see that, but I haven't seen that one reported anywhere, but I can't. I'm not omnipresent.
No, neither am I. I didn't even stop to see if that one was real-ish.
Yeah, I tried, and I thought I caught most of everything, but as always on this show, if there was something we missed, it's something that you wanted us to talk about, and just write in dconscreen@gmail.com or catch us on one of our many social media platforms and be like, "Hey, you didn't bring this up," and I'd be like, "Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'll talk about it."
That's a great time to talk about it.
Please,
and a great reason.
Please, still listen to our show.
It is really more caller based than you would think as far as that goes. We really will spend a lot of time on some bullshit if you want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, we spend a lot of time bullshitting.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah, I mean, Isabella Merced, who played Hawk Girl, she says Superman definitely ties into the story of Peacemaker. What was really fun for me was getting to show my relationship to Maxwell Lord, who is Sean Gunn. I love Sean. Love that James continues to work with the same people. She says, I love that he has that loyalty, and I hope I'm part of that gang now. She said she loved getting to explore the chemistry between the Justice Gang. All of that's cool. I'm excited that they're going to be in Peacemaker Season 2. I am really excited about... Dude, I continue to almost be more excited for Peacemaker, I think, than I was for Superman.
That's a good thing.
I loved Season 1 so much.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing, though. Like,
it's also fucking... If anybody knows this show, they know, like, where my sensibilities lie. Like, dick jokes... R-rated, bullshit.
Yeah, like singing with the dildo before he gets attacked by a I don't what do you call it? A multiversal monster? I don't know what to call it. But like that's the kind of thing where you got me immediately. You got me in 5 minutes, man. I was in that show just off that really. But this is and you can try to make this another thing where people insert hostility. It doesn't have to be there. But that's actually how this is supposed to work. Like we saw something exciting. There's another thing coming. We're even more excited now. That's just the momentum of it. That's cool.
Yeah. So by the way, James Gunn is officially a competitor of ours now.
God, yeah. We are indeed boned.
He's already won. He's releasing a Peacemaker companion series, Peacemaker, the official podcast with James Gunn. It is a companion podcast series that will provide deep dives and insight into the show. And it's already out. They're doing like 2 episodes a week. They're going over all of Season 1. Motherfuckers are going to be talking about like what's canon, what's not canon. He's got people from the show there. Like, I mean, I'm going to watch it. I'm probably going to rewatch Season 1 and then listen or watch the show on YouTube because you can do both. Yeah.
Actually, God, we are running out of time. I need to go ahead and do that. That was like a month ago. I thought I'll get around to that in a month. Mm-hmm. And here we are.
Yep. That Rolling Stone interview said to shift to Peacemaker Season 2 for a second, which we've already done on this show. They said the trailer suggests a multiverse plot, which has made some fans assume you're going to directly address his shift from the prior DC film universe, the DCEU, to the current one, the DCU. But that seems to go against what you previously said, which is it will be a much more natural flow. Gunn says that is true. Yes, people are realizing that Peacemaker Season 2 is about 2 dimensions, and that's really the core of the show. But it's not as if one of those is old DCEU and one's DCU. That's dealt with in a very different way, very upfront of season where most everything in Season 1 is canon and some things are not. And in fact, I did a podcast with Steve G and Jen Holland, and we did every episode of Peacemaker. And in those episodes, I talk about what's canon and what's not. I basically chip off the little things from Peacemaker Season 1 that aren't canon, like Aquaman. But most of the stuff is canon. So yeah, it's the alternate universe Peacemaker goes to is not the DCEU. Yeah. Damn it.
Not precisely. I really don't. Gunn does have me a little bit gun shy on this because part of me wants to be like, but it could work if he did that because he's been shutting down some of that recently. So I kind of don't want to spend the energy on it.
Yeah.
Just let the shake out.
Yeah. Gunn revealed the new intro song for Peacemaker Season 2, Oh Lord, by Foxy Shazam. I sent you the video for that.
You did.
What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. That's a bit of a jam. Not something I'm going to listen to probably outside of I'll enjoy it when it's on the show, and then that'll probably exhaust me of the vibe of that for a while, and then I'll kind of enjoy listening to it in the background after that.
It's not quite catching me like Wigwam did immediately.
Yeah, but then again, like Wigwam really got under my skin, but only after a couple of real attempts. That didn't hook me right then. That's a crunchy little front riff, but I had to get over the 80s of it all. Mm-hmm. So it took a second. I did watch the entire music video, and like I told you, I have not personally seen someone enjoy being a frontman that much in a long time. Yeah. That was refreshing. He is having a good time. They all genuinely look like that was a fun set. That was cool.
Yeah. Gunn calls Peacemaker Season 2 his favorite soundtrack, and he does tease more Ozzy Osbourne. Did you see that trailer, by the way?
No.
Oh, I thought I sent you the trailer.
You might have.
Yeah, they did a trailer. You want to pause and you can watch the trailer?
Sure.
All right, so now you've seen this Peacemaker Season 2 trailer that he released at Comic-Con.
Right.
Knocking it out of the park with some Ozzy Osbourne, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, Road to Nowhere. And, he said he didn't realize, he put it in there before Ozzy passed.
Yeah, yeah.
And, he started doing it. He was like, oh my God, it hit him. And it was like, I had forgotten I even put that in the trailer. Everyone was like, it's an Ozzy tribute. Yeah, no. He's being honest about it. He's like, no, I didn't mean to do that.
I doubt it. I mean, genuinely, that would be creepy if it was a tribute from when that had to be made. But this, let's be real, guys. This was inevitable. It's probably not just this. He is used in so many soundtracks, in so many capacities. Somebody was going to be using him by happenstance the time it happened.
Oh, and he said there's more Ozzy coming in the show.
Now that I can't vouch for. As far as timing goes, that may or may not be advantageous about time, but I'd probably vouch for this one.
Yeah, he said, and he'd already said, he made a little post about how it was sad that Ozzy had died, and then he said, I think today or yesterday, Ozzy Osbourne in the trailer, that was really sad the other day when he passed, and it wasn't until this morning I remembered we had him in the trailer in the season. And in the season, dude, this stuff has been done for a minute.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were just throwing it together. They're not, Parker and Stone.
Right. Yeah.
Which kudos to those bastards.
Yeah,
oh
welcome
my God.
Back. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't think you and I talked about this, the brilliance of that South Park episode. Because everyone was like, well, no, they're going to get canceled and fired or whatever. And they're like, no, they just signed billions of dollars.
They will have to give them so much money to fire them that they would be able to buy them back.
Yeah. There would be they literally cannot fire them. Wonderful.
It would borderline bankrupt even that company. Yeah.
I mean,
that's not true. Borderline bankrupt. It would hurt even that company.
Dude, they're not doing well. It would bankrupt them. It would kill them.
I don't know.
I don't think they had the money. I don't think they had the money to give them the deal in the first place. That's how bad it is.
That part was out for debate.
Anyway, let's talk about the trailer. It made me sad.
Which part?
The fact that he is so sad in his current universe, and then that he would want to take over his alternate universe's life because he's a hero there and people like him, and he's with Harcourt in that universe. And I don't know, just a lot of, I don't know. I've been there at times.
Yeah.
Where I felt like this universe isn't the one I was supposed to be in.
Yeah, I get that. He's going through his unappreciated feeling, kind of, it feels a bit midlife crisis-y in some broad generalization kind of words.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that in the best ways, though. Trust me. I dug the trailer, man. That thing looks exciting. I think the one thing that's the only thing that maybe bothered me is if there might. I'd sometimes worry I'm going to spend. There's going to be too much time of a feeling of spending time in a world that you're going to eventually close by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's a weird mixture for me because sometimes I want to spend even more time there because I'm fascinated about it, and other times I'm like, yeah, but this isn't going to count. So can we wrap it up and get back to stuff that's going to count? I don't know how to predict.
I have
what
a theory.
I'm doing.
I have a theory.
Uh-huh.
It might be Earth 3
that he's hopping over to.
Yeah, I mean, if he is a good guy in this other universe, and him and Harcourt are together, and his dad's a good guy, and his brother's alive and is a good guy, are the
good guys not good guys?
Are the good guys not good guys? Yeah, basically.
So you're just interpreting that as no, it's not a good guy universe. It's just a working one where they're winning.
I mean, we've heard that Corn Sweat might be in Peacemaker.
Yeah,
it's
heavily rumored, but
heavily
really rumored.
But what if he's playing actual Ultraman.
Yeah, but
like Crime Syndicate.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to try to pull in both words right this second, though.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't either.
I mean, if he did Corn and Sweat as Ultraman, and then he said that other people who were in Superman are going to be in Peacemaker, dude, if Brosnahan shows up as like Superwoman, I mean, fuck,
yeah.
Dude. I'm not saying they're going to do that. I'm just saying.
No, it's all on the table, though, yeah.
Not trying to be like, hey, let me amp up expectations for the listeners, and then when we watch Peacemaker, we're going to be like, well, that sucked.
Yeah. This was just weird. No, what's your opinion on this?
Got our hopes up.
Because there's a real chance of it. So what do you give the odds that whatever universe this is that we're going to go play in for a while is just, it's going to end up being like one primary universe that they go play with, and what do you think of the odds that it's just sort of a whole cloth, new numbered? It'll have some references to stuff, but it's not going to be really pinned down enough. It's just going to be something he's going to play with here and put it down.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a pretty good chance that it's not going to be Earth 3. Importantly, it's just going to open up the multiverse.
Easily. I mean, the fact those doors even exist is, he chose violence as far as
Now, look,
going after continuity possibly. And
I will say this. It made me laugh. I'm sorry. I'm going to repeat it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
The universe with all the skulls, with the spider legs, they'd looked at through the door. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. What the hell is that?
I don't know what it is, but a bunch of people are posting that picture and going, it's the Snyderverse. Like, y'all are not right.
Look.
You sons of bitches. That is not the damn Snyderverse.
In terms of visual style and grading, I cut.
Yes.
Okay.
And color grading, yes. Color grading, yes. Even I'm pretty sure. Well, the background, the sky looked a lot like the Nightmare.
Looks a little Nightmare versus.
Timeline.
Yeah. And I would think it's hilarious to open up any version of the Snyder timeline for a second.
God, yeah.
I just don't know if he's going to want to do that, but
yeah. Anyway, during the panel for Peacemaker Season 2, Gunn said that he was asked who was better, Eagly or Crypto.
Ooh.
And both John Cena and Gunn agreed that Eagly was the perfect pet. He was the better pet of the two.
Oh, God, yeah.
Gunn's reasoning was that Eagly was better behaved than Crypto was.
Yeah.
But, and Eagly is meant to be loyal and endearing, and he's exactly that. But Crypto is incredibly strong and would absolutely beat Eagly in a fight.
Yeah. That would not, I mean, he can fly too. It's not going to go well.
Yeah.
Even for Eagly. But, God, yeah, I wouldn't want to pit him again. Like, as far as fan favorites go, that's rough. Like, I wouldn't want to see the celebrity deathmatch version of that.
I don't think they would fight. I think Peacemaker might try to fight Superman. I don't think Eagly and Crypto would fight.
No.
I think they would play.
Oh, God, yeah.
I can't believe we're having that conversation.
I can't believe we get to have that conversation.
I know.
It's such a wonderful time.
Over to Clayface. Gunn says, I was going through a deck for the movie Clayface, which is being made now at DC, and they were showing me a bunch of reference photos from different horrible things, and they were real. He says, they were just laughing at me because I can't look. I'm closing my eyes the whole time. They're like, James Gunn is the one who's so grossed out that he can't look. He mentioned that Slither was a love letter to body horror movies like Cronenberg's Shivers and Larry Hagman's Beware, The Blob, despite calling himself really squeamish. If I know it's not real, my brain changes. It's interesting. I mean, that's a real thing.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've really known horror well enough to predict what they mean by all this when they say, like, oh my God, it's just so terrible. Like, I've seen some crazy stuff as far as just the scope of it all goes. I don't revisit it a lot, but I've seen some things that how much farther can you go? It's just going to be another horror film at the end of the day, I assume, right? Like,
probably.
Glad they're excited, but it isn't a genre where, like, I understand all the notes. There's a lot of pedals on that fretboard I don't understand.
Now, what was funny, though, is, like, I have been excited about Clayface, and it made me excited about Feet of Clay, the animated, two-part animated show from animated series.
Of course.
That, the guy, Mike Flanagan, I want to say Matt Shackman. Like, no, that's not him. Mike Flanagan said he based his initial script off of that. And I showed it to my wife. And one of the things that stood out to me was how little Batman was actually needed in that 2-part story. Like, just looking at it, I'm like, he shows up from time to time.
Yeah.
Like, but every time Batman shows up, like, Clayface just kind of pins him somewhere and goes about his day.
Right, of course.
And, Batman is the one that puts all the different roles on the screens and doesn't realize, like, it wasn't a plan from Batman to, like, overload his system. But I suspect, because there have been rumblings about a female lead being introduced, I suspect that Flanagan also pulled in that 3rd part of Feet of Clay, that's not actually called Feet of Clay, where we find out that Clayface didn't die from that electrical surge or whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, we'd already knew that because of the end of Feet of Clay. But the woman who's like has him going to get the isotopes or whatever to like try to re-solidify him or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's in that suit. I don't know. I suspect that might be part of it as well, of the Clayface movie. I don't know. Just been a thought of mine. They haven't officially announced the female lead, so I didn't include it in the news.
Yeah, I could see it. I really don't know what they're going to do with that yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a babe in the woods with most of that until I kind of get pretty deep into it. They're going to have to show me a little bit before I have any grasp.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it just occurred to me of how little Batman is really needed in that story.
To get through that particular one? Yeah.
Because he's like just kind of, he accidentally defeated him, kind of, but then didn't actually defeat him. Like, if you are not, because you're basically, in that story, like, Batman is just sort of a rogue element that's just kind of in there because the show was called Batman.
Right.
Like, you could totally do a horror story where it's just like this dude coming after Roland Daggett and his crew of cronies. I don't know. I think it's a neat idea.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah. I like that
direction. Over to Lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Over on Lanterns, Nathan Fillion's talking about being in Lanterns. And he says he's very arrogant. He's very self-absorbed. And he's talking about how he's like very opposite of Aaron Pierre's Jon Stewart. He says Aaron, he's got a voice like butter. And he's statuesque, like he's carved out of marble. He's very, very specific about his character and what his character's going through. His character's clearly going through something. And then along comes this gregarious, smug son of a bitch in Guy Gardner. And in that show, boy, Guy Gardner, I've dropped more F-bombs in that project than I have in, I think, my entire career put together. Mm. And he did say that Guy's smug attitude comes across in his first scene with Stewart, but by the end of it, you can tell there is a shift. Guy Gardner is no longer comfortable. He is no longer feeling smug. Then you can see where John's strength really lies. That is a strong individual. He says he doesn't really have any scenes directly with Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan. He says, but meeting Kyle, he's everything you'd hope he would be. Very fun, very nice man, very lighthearted, and fun to be around. David Corenswet might have spoiled Lanterns.
Ooh.
He says, one thing that excites me so much about James's vision for the DCU is the different genres and tones that the movies can take on, and I know people are skeptical that certain genres and characters can mix. I would love to see this Superman in an R-rated project, in a detective, in a thing like Lanterns, where it's a true detective feel.
Yeah.
I just think it can happen, in spite of how bright and playful this version of the character is.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like you know something, buddy.
Well, I don't know how to take that. I don't know if he knows something or if he's just throwing it out after. See, to me, it's like he's almost throwing that out as a hypothetical. That almost confirms that it's not a real thing.
Yeah, maybe.
But then there's always the you just can't trust actors when they're talking sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Use their faces wrong.
Over to Supergirl. James Gunn is teasing some of the DCU Krypton scenes of Supergirl. He says there's always a possibility of seeing flashbacks of Krypton and Supergirl. He says, but I think those things are really integral to the two characters and the differences between them. And that Clark really does have sort of this really happy childhood. I mean, he has parents who loved him in an easygoing upbringing, and it makes him the least dysfunctional of superheroes in so many ways. And Supergirl, especially the DCU Supergirl, she's kind of a mess. I mean, she's had real issues growing up. And it is based on the comic where she watched person after person after person dying in front of her as her piece of the planet disintegrated. Fuck, that's
so
cool.
Back to the drinking. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Back to the drinking.
Yeah.
They put out a picture of her. She's like drinking on a looks like some sort of a big gulp ice something. I don't know, icy or something. So and it had the Superman symbol on it, and it said "Look up," but then they like spray painted out up and wrote "out."
Right. Yeah.
Look out. I liked it. I thought it was fun. Nice official look at her since people were leaking her shots, her couple of shots from Superman.
Yeah, it was a great looking poster. I showed that to a few people who were. I got some raised eyebrows of intrigue. That looks fun. Like, yeah, you have no idea what she's been through. You're going to enjoy this.
Yeah. Yeah. To Crypto's fate, Rolling Stone asked people who've read the Woman of Tomorrow graphic novel might have reason to be concerned about Crypto and Supergirl. You cut a scene where Ultraman punches Crypto because it upset audiences. If he can't be punched in this movie, how do you have a scarier thing happen to him in a Supergirl movie? And Gunn says, remember, this is a different movie than Supergirl. Supergirl is way more rock and roll. It's a little bit rougher in certain ways. She's a tougher character. She's not Superman at all. And so it's not the same. This movie really is for everybody. And so is Supergirl, but it's a little bit edgier in some ways in this film. Mind you, I've seen all the dailies, but I haven't seen the cut. I see it next week, I think. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah, this is a thing people I've seen a lot of people glossing over. They're acting like Gunn is directing this movie. He's not. It's Craig Gillespie. So he's not quite as involved.
Yeah, he knows where it's landing, but somebody else is flying.
Mm-hmm. Over to the Batman Part 2, I don't think we've talked about it on this show yet, because we've had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of Superman reviews leading up to Superman.
Oh, yeah.
And so on X, a while back now, Matt Reeves and Matt Tomlin shared themselves sitting together on a couch, and in the foreground on the picture is the screenplay for the Batman Part 2 with the Bat logo on it. And Gunn said he's read it. I liked it. It is on track for October 2027 release date. Mm-hmm. Gunn also said, for sure, we're headed in the right direction. So there's some things we still got to work out, but it's headed in the right direction. All right. Now, there was a story that came out a little while ago. Warner Brothers reportedly dismissed a Black Superman movie for being too woke. And this was blamed on David Zaslav. Apparently, David Zaslav shelved the Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Superman film. And the reason, according to the sources, was because it was a period piece set during the American Civil Rights era. Zaslav apparently said it was quote-unquote too woke. But that happened in 2022. Subsequently, James Gunn has said that's the thing that might still happen. He said if Coates' script is great and the timing is right, the project could absolutely happen as an Elseworlds tale like Joker. So, I don't know how true it is that Zaslav, shelved it for being too woke.
Yeah. I don't want to put the words in his mouth, but they're plausible.
Yeah, they're plausible. But at the same time, he is not in charge. James Gunn is in charge, and James Gunn said, I don't know. I'll have to read the thing first.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'd rather, or where it is now, I guess. I'd rather be where it is now, regardless of what he may or may not have said, because he's definitely enough of a piece of shit to have said that. But, at least it's with James now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we don't have to worry.
So, I bring it up just because it's a little bit of hey, let's get angry about a thing that was a thing in 2022 and might have been a thing back then, but isn't a thing anymore.
We do have less rotten fish to fry
at the moment.
Yeah.
So And I guess technically I should have lowered that story into the new segment. Much like WBT, we were shifting over to DCT.
Ah, yes.
It's the same exact segment. I'm just calling it something different because it's not WBT. Damn it. This is DC Studios.
Kinda is, I like
so it should be DCT.
Mm-hmm. I'll do it in stereo with you.
Yours is a little more concise.
Great Pico.
It's a little more truncated. Yeah. All right. Only 25 pages more to go. No, I'm kidding.
How's your diaper situation?
I don't know where we are. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're on page, oh my God, 17 of 30.
Oh, Christ.
Oh,
I'll never see my child again.
All right. So in an interview, Gunn teased that the main character, quote unquote, of the DCU will be someone other than Superman and not a character that most fans would guess. Mm-hmm. He also, he couldn't resist piercing the veil of secrecy with a tease about just who is the centerpiece of the DCU. He says, let's see, this was with Screen Rant's Ash Crossan, I think is how they said her name. She asked about a popular fan theory that Crypto is going to be like the Nick Fury of the DCU. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like
bouncing
hanging
around.
out and all the different things. Yeah.
I think I said I wanted every Stinger to be Crypto just jumping to the next movie.
Yeah. Gunn debunked that idea. He did toss out the teaser that there is an unexpected character who will emerge as the connective focal point of the franchise. He says, I don't think it's Crypto's stories. I know whose story it is, and it probably isn't anyone that anyone would ever expect. And when him saying that, I'm going to go Jimmy. I'm going to be mad if it's Steve Lombard.
Maybe. I mean, when you say no one will expect, like maybe Jimmy, that gets you into a whole category where you're kind of guessing for guessing's sake. But I do think it would be a little weird, even if he could pull it off, and I definitely think he could, to do another franchise, and a bigger one this time, based on telling the story of kind of an anthropomorphized thing. Mm-hmm. We would just be looking back like, oh, yeah, there's that time when he spent 15 years on the raccoon and then the dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can go with that. And that doesn't mean he's going to use a human.
I wouldn't be shocked if it was Peacemaker.
No. Yeah, that wouldn't shock me entirely. My gut tells me it's someone that we haven't seen yet. I don't know why. Because he was talking about like the whole universe, right?
Yeah, it might be Abadeo.
Okay, easily, yeah. But definitely could be her. But he's talking about like several films from now. It could be somebody that we're just about to get to know. I'm not sure.
He said he confirmed that there is a through line to the first arc, Gods and Monsters, and that, the character who is in that through line is someone we've already met. He also confirmed that this through line is leading to a major franchise event, and it's not what anyone thinks. It's not what anyone would guess. But I think that if people watch the next season of Peacemaker, they'll see where a lot of these things are going and have a little bit more of a sense of maybe that can happen, or maybe what can happen. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Might be Waller.
Easily, yeah. Well, but that might be expected. It's the part about no one's going to expect. He didn't say no one. He said most people won't expect. Something like that.
Something, yeah.
I'm going to get hung up on it for a while.
It's not what anyone would guess.
Yeah, that is even weirder phrasing for me. Yeah, I'm going to get hung up on that for a while. I should move on.
Your 3 superhero moments James Gunn never wants to see again. Huh? He says, there are 3 things I don't ever want to see again in a superhero movie. I don't need to see the pearls in the back alley with Batman's parents were killed. I don't need to see the radioactive spider biting Spider-Man. And I don't need to see baby Kal-El coming from Krypton in a little baby rocket. We have watched a million movies with characters who don't have their upbringing explained. Like when we see Good Night and Good Luck, we don't need to know the early life of Edward R. Murrow to explain how he became a journalist. Right. Who cares?
Yeah. Those are 3 great instincts, I think. Yeah. We've discussed the pearls many times. I don't think we've ever cited the spider bite, but yeah.
Yeah. He was talking to Deadline on the red carpet for the Superman event, and he was asked about DC's Trinity coming together in the rebooted continuity. And he said he definitely wants, it's definitely something he wants to do. He says, of course, yeah, but not in the next movie. You have to remember that all the stuff is talks in my head. So there's a lot of chatter in my head that does a lot of things, but the DCU is chatter in my head, not talks. So.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of starting to worry about him.
That is a busy shower tile, man. I'm just
yeah, man. Over on Horowitz's Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, he was asked if he had gotten into casting for Batman in his head. Gunn said no. And then Horowitz asked what Gunn thinks when fans mention someone like Alan Ritchson for the role. And Gunn says, I am a big Alan Ritchson fan, both as an actor and as a guy. And you could tell he says he wants to say something, but then he goes, let's just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll take it.
I really will. That makes me feel like he's on the short list.
Yeah.
Those talks in his head may have gotten out of his head.
Mm-hmm. And he was asked if he thinks, he thinks about trying to differentiate this Batman from previous versions. And he was like, oh yeah, of course. And he says, listen, do I ever think about it? Sure. There's the people out there I think about, but let's see where the script comes in. It's not the furthest thing along. I mean, we have things that are much, much further along. But he did say that they probably won't put out the DCU Batman in the same calendar year as the Batman Part 2. He said probably not the same calendar year, just to keep the confusion at a minimum.
Yeah.
Josh actually asked him, though, he's like, will Batman show up before Brave and the Bold? Gunn looked like he wanted to say something, and then he's like, I'm not going to say that. He actually looked annoyed.
Like, how dare you?
Why would you even ask that?
That's out of bounds, and you know it, sir.
Yeah. And like Josh is like, everything he's asking him, like, that Gunn doesn't want to answer. He's just laughing the whole time. Like, all right, I got you. Like, he knows what he's doing. He did say, as for Flash and Aquaman, Gunn said it would probably be at least 2 years before we get to see the new iterations of those characters. I've seen some people having a real problem with that. Did you watch The Flash or Aquaman 2? Like, you need some time to get the taste out of your mouth. Even if you liked the second Aquaman, like, you want to wait and get that out of your mouth. Like, we know that Momoa's not Aquaman. They're gonna do something different. Yeah. The Flash definitely was not received well. They're gonna wait a minute on that, man. Yeah.
You gotta let some stuff just breathe long enough.
Over on, I think it was Thread, Shimbo 1977 says, never forget that a very comic accurate Batman costume was filmed but not used. It is possible to put Batman in the gray and blue and not have it look bad. This is the way at James Gunn. And it's a picture of the Michael Keaton Batman suit that was, just kind of chilling on a dummy or a stand or something in the background in the Flash in the Batcave. Mm-hmm. And Gunn responded, I don't know. Looked good on a stand in the background, but I'm not sure I believe Batman spent countless hours carving obliques into his costume. Now, you agree with this. You agree with Gunn, right?
I think in theory. I also see that as a, shoot from the hip take that, like, kind of like I don't want to, kind of like how he didn't want to really focus on Batman in the Creature Commandos thing. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I don't know. This isn't what I'm feeling right now. Like, to me, like how they pitched the idea of like the shorts, or they were going to go outside. He really wanted to go with the outside, but he had to justify it.
Yeah.
It's just that stage. But I get the idea that the instinct is his version of a grounded Superman or Batman wouldn't just spend a lot of time focusing on something that might be seen as a vanity feature.
Mm-hmm. I think, like, in my head, like, it was a strange response from Gunn to me, because the guy was talking about, he's just talking about doing a classic Batman in the gray and blue and how he thought it looked good. And, it does, like, I agree with Gunn on, like, I think it does look good in the background on a stand. But you're going to have to sell me on Batman in the blue and gray in live action, because what they did show us of that in The Flash did not look good to me. Like, I don't like that Affleck costume where he's riding around in the blue and gray.
The actual blue and gray?
Yeah, I didn't think it looked good. Now,
that was daytime though. I think I would really like it at night if you could
maybe
somehow give me a version where I could kind of see it.
That's the thing is like, dude, like my Batman before like even Batman the Animated Series, my first Batman comic was an old Norm Brayfogle comic. And that's blue and gray all day. Like,
I'm dressed in blue and gray.
Yeah.
90% of the time I walk out of this house.
Yeah. Like,
it's a color combo I'm fond of.
I love it. The blue, the gray, the yellow. I love it. I just,
well, like blue, black, gray, whatever.
I don't know. I just got to be sold on it. Now, I thought it was funny that Gunn though, like, and this is something we've like a little bit of a theme in this episode. Gunn has a lot of weird little hangups. Mm-hmm. like, come on, man. And of course he's not going to be spending countless hours carving obliques. He would do like a body cast, and then he'd put it in some kind of fucking super science Lex Luthor, bulletproof flame retardant costume or something. But what I've always thought would be a great excuse for the muscles and the suits in live action would be like the thing that Grant Morrison did so well in JLA, which was there was this idea that Batman was more of an urban myth than he was just like some dude in a bunch of armor. Like, there were people like, they even joke about like in certain parts of the canon, like criminals don't even think the guy that's in the Justice League is the real Batman. They think it's just a dude pretending to be Batman, and like the real Batman is in Gotham and he's a fucking cryptid or something.
Yeah.
So I like this idea. I like the idea of like Bruce being like, let's lean into the superstitious cowardly lot bit, at least, in the first few years. And yeah, I'm going to show them like, it's going to look like skin. They're going to shoot me and it's not going to hurt me, but they're going to see those fucking muscles, buddy. And I'm going to have these giant leathery bat wings draped over me. And in the dark, you're not going to know whether I'm a person or if I'm some kind of justice cryptid. And I dig that idea a lot.
Like that is a cool idea. I see his comment though as like it's like more focused on like the time and resource management part. So like he can super science this suit to look a certain way to kind of justice cryptid it up. Mm-hmm. Grow his Bigfoot myth, but like that. But I
was thinking Mothman prophecies.
But to have the super science at hand to do so, you have to spend all the time on the super science. So to save the time on the actual, design, you have to have done the groundwork somewhere. And I don't know what he's going to do with the groundwork. And I don't know if Gunn would be thinking this way, because I might be, and I was thinking that might be where his head's at. Mm-hmm. Is like, okay, well, I've only got X amount of years before. So what's like this Superman's 30, right?
33.
33?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we go straight Jesus age. Everyone's perfect, though. Everyone should go 30 or 33. It's the perfect age for this story. But
Frank Miller has that whole bit about how he mourned when he hit 33 because he realized he was older than Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's my point. So this Batman is probably going to be around the same age anyway. But that means that I feel like Gunn is probably the kind of person who's going to be thinking, well, all right, so that means I've really only got 20 years worth of time since he makes the pledge to really play with. I've only got 10 years worth of time where he was like an adultish thing that was really adult brain training for this moment. And then really, really only, how long has he been actively Batman? Because then we're out of the training phase and then we're into the doing phase where he's actually, so I've only got so many years that this guy was getting so many PhDs.
Yeah.
Clearly other people are capable. Like we got Mr. Terrific that's going to have, what the actor said he had an aptitude for aptitudes.
Yeah.
I love the framing.
See, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going to put all the time.
I don't know that Bruce would be getting PhDs. Bruce can't let people know that he's actually smart.
Oh no, I don't mean actually getting him. I just mean at home PhD in himself for sure.
But
wearing out that Phoenix College subscription.
It is one of those things where I'm like, Gunn is interesting because he says stuff like, "Oh, I need to know why the glasses work," Okay. I need a real reason for the underwear. Okay. Cool. That's fine. And then you're like, so how did Lex get to he's just super rich. But he's so rich that he could just create like magic super science that transports him to other dimensions. Okay.
Right.
So I'm going, but then he's going to be like, well, I don't think Bruce is going to sit down there and carve obliques into his costume. Okay. Is Bruce also just like unlimited wealth rich? Maybe. I'm just like, I don't know where Gunn is going to draw the line.
No, I don't either. And I think he's developing that one, especially on Batman right now.
Yeah.
I feel like this is probably the case right now, though, that there's probably a percentage, of baked that the idea of Batman is in Gunn's brain. Mm-hmm. What are those thoughts that he was talking about? Those are where the talks are, you know. But I feel like there's a percentage of that that's probably in hand. But like Batman's not even fully baked in there.
Yeah.
We're just not getting the full story. Whatever's making it outside right now, I don't feel like is all that permanent.
Yeah, it might not be. I want to sit down and talk to Gunn now. Like,
very much
in
so.
a way that, like,
very much so.
Like I always said on this show, I don't ever want to fucking talk to Zack Snyder. And it's not because I don't think he's a good guy or something. I just feel like I'd be out of my depth. Because, like, he's into shit that I'm not into. Like, he's going to start talking about fucking Excelsior or some shit, or Excalibur or whatever the fuck it was. And he's got to talk about some,
he was a big fan.
Some Catholic shit because he keeps mentioning that stuff. And I'm like, that's fine.
I just wanted to talk about 90s rock. Or like,
right. But, like, sitting down with
no, I think I can mostly keep up. Let's do this.
But I'm like over here like, can I be a part of the brain trust? Like, can I hang out with you and Tom King and fucking Drew Goddard? And like, if you guys can't come up with something, if you're like, I don't really see this, can I be like the tiebreaker? Can I be like, fucking he's doing a body cast. He does a body cast and has the shit mass produced under a shell company and has his uniforms like shipped in. And like, I want to do that. I want to like, because I don't want to explain why Bruce Wayne has so much fucking money. Just like they didn't with Lex. I'm like, no, hell no. He's just super rich. That's just a thing. It's a given. Fuck it. Like,
they're just rich people. We don't have to go over the whole thing. You know what I mean? Even over Marvel, like first movie where they explain all of Tony Stark, it's just a series of newspapers being thrown on the screen. Mm-hmm. It takes about 70 seconds maybe, and it's over.
Yeah.
And he's rich, and we got it, and we're moving on. There's several rich people now, actually, as a result of that little montage.
Yeah. But you know what? I would even be okay because, like in the old Golden Age comics, like you just see Bruce standing there in like a science vest, and he's like doing like chemicals and shit, and he's just he created most of the shit we see in the Batcave. He's just a smart ass fucking dude. Like they could do like what they did in Fantastic Four, where it's just like, yeah, Gotham's starting to come up because Bruce is just devoting like a ton of money to research. Bruce is like creating stuff, doing like Tony Stark shit in the city. And everyone's like, oh yeah, he's this cool dude. And some say he likes the ladies a little much, but when would he have time? And he acts like he's doing all this shit, during the night, but he ain't, like you don't have to have him be a complete dullard.
No, and also, I don't know that we're necessarily going to have him do any of the Playboy stuff either. I don't think Gunn's said that he's necessarily going to go with that. You don't have to use that. We don't have anything.
We don't know anything about what Gunn is doing.
Not at all. But there are versions of Bruce that are just a little bit homebody. Just like versions of him that like everyone's like, oh, he's a very nice guy, but I don't really know much about him. He doesn't date much, and he just doesn't get out very much. But I see him at charity events. He's very nice. Mm-hmm. He's just kind of an enigma, but not really all that interesting of one, which is, in my opinion, one of the best costumes you can put on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems like too that they're
just very boring, but he cuts everyone's a lot of checks, and he's very nice.
If they're doing the thing that they've seemed to hint at, which is, they've said that Brave and the Bold was going to be more focused on him and Damian.
Yeah.
But if that's true, then we're gonna, and Gunn has said we're doing the Bat family. There's going to be Bat family around. We're going to be in a world where Bruce may be a little older, but he's able to go to he's able to go to functions and stuff and be Bruce Wayne because he's got like 15 fucking children out here.
Yeah.
He's stalking the night. He's got a Nightwing. He's got an Oracle. He's got whoever, who knows who he's got. Yeah.
I'm excited about Batman. Like, there's so many things. Like, we've never seen the Bat Family proper in any way. We've seen Dick in the Schumacher films. That's it. That's really it. We've gotten a taste of it in Titans, but those dudes, like, as much as I enjoyed Titans at times, I mean, to have like an elderly Bruce and some Titans.
You've seen Dick's costume in the other universe, but it's one of those things where, like, it's another one of the exact thing we were talking about before. I can get very excited about the point of that in that universe is very cool and very exciting. Would I have done that? No, outright no. I would not order that off the side menu.
Yeah, yeah. Old, Scottish Batman, and angry Dick Grayson screaming "fuck Batman." Nah, that wouldn't have been my first choice.
Yeah.
They did some cool things in Titans, and I was glad to have seen most of those things. I still need to finish the last season of Titans, but that might actually be a solid point as well. Like, I did not feel compelled to finish that series. I got a little tired of it, and I moved on, and then forgot what happened. And
I forget where that means.
I'll tell you what happened. They mentioned Brother Blood. And my brain checked out.
I know, but when I tell you I made it through it and it was worth it, you should be like, oh, okay.
All right.
Because you know how I feel about the Brother Blood shit.
Yeah, I know. We don't. Neither one of us like Brother Blood.
Yeah, no.
But I think that we don't like it just because of Arrow.
It didn't help, but no, I've never been a fan.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan in general of that kind of thing, and I think there's like imagery there's Satanic Panic kind of imagery when they do blood kind of stuff that is like a point of deep. Therapy needing bore and aversion to me. Like, I don't have any interest in it on any level. And then on top of that, it's just cults. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cults can be a lot of fun. Sometimes they do actively disinterest me.
Yeah. Sometimes. I don't know. I was pretty glued to the news with that Nexium shit in real life.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell was this?
Real life ones are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Cults and... they're sadly more compelling. That's not great.
Yeah. Plus, Brother Blood came around the time of the Murakuru soldiers and all of that. Yeah, it's just God.
That was a time. Mm-hmm. That was a time. And Titan, same thing. It had its moments where there's a couple things I could have done without that carnival death and stuff. But like it was worth finishing. I'm just gonna tell you it's worth finishing.
Okay. Well, I still need to finish Doom Patrol too, and I love Doom Patrol. That's the
other part is I need you to just finish the whole universe so you get through Doom Patrol.
Dude, I love Doom Patrol.
Not that one's contingent, but still.
Yeah, no, they're two different universes, in fact. But Doom Patrol was, that's another reason I want to talk to James Gunn. I want to be like, please, dude. Doom Patrol needs to be...
You saw this one, right? You know how good this one
he's going to be like, if I do this, Jeff Johns is back. And I'm like, okay, fine, just forget it.
Yeah.
So they're...
Gunn, while I have you here, like, I just want to get him drunk at lunch and be like, how much can we expand? Like, can one of those Peacemaker doors be to, like, wherever Resident Alien lives? Because that's free right now. Can you save that? How big you want to make this net, dude?
Yeah. Can we do a live-action Batman Scooby-Doo crossover? They keep doing them in animation.
Yeah, you know how good Alan is.
And you've made 2 Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah.
And they were good.
Yeah.
All right. It's being reported according to, I've seen a bunch all over the place, but Batman Gotham's Dark Detective on Threads says to James Gunn, it is being reported by Variety that WB is pushing for a lot of things following the success of Superman. I was under the impression that WB doesn't have the creative control of DC Studios, but that you and Peter do with WB, just the distributor, basically, what is truly the case. And Gunn says, WB Pictures has no creative control over DC Studios, but I haven't had anyone pushing me for anything other than the hunger for more DC projects that has existed since I've been there. So I don't know what you're referring to.
What I'm reading from that. No, it's in the contract. We've talked about this several times. There's no reason for them to have any control. Again, we've gone over that contractually as well. And right now, everything is going very well. So no one's really down my throat. Why are you even bothering with that question? Yeah. I'm very confused.
Well, I think he's bothering with it the same reason I am. Like, it's worth to keep reiterating.
because these Variety, of all things, fucking Variety, is coming out saying WB is pushing Gunn to do all this stuff. And people are like, oh, yeah, here we go. It's going to happen. No, man. This is a different beast. This is a different beast. This isn't Snyder getting railroaded.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there are a lot more mechanisms than have ever been in place. I would also deeply suspect that railroading will eventually happen because railroading just is one of life's inevitabilities.
Yeah.
Its dark side is, But like, I think there's enough protection in place, at the very least, that even in my most cynical view of events, it's not time for it yet, guys.
Yeah, I don't think it's time for it. Look, I mean, it'll start getting a little iffy around time.
Not after those goddamn numbers you covered early in this podcast.
No. As long as the numbers are good, if he wants to re-up on that contract,
yeah,
I think he'll be all right.
Yeah.
But if and when there's railroading, it will be around the time that contracts are about to be re-upped. And
which is...
We'll see.
I need to look up when that is.
Which, and that's if Gunn still wants to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Because he's talked about how, like, they have come to the point now where, his wife, she's not completely happy with how much time he spends doing this instead of hanging out with her.
Oh, yeah.
So
we'll have to find a little balance.
There's going to have to be more balance for sure.
Yeah. Right now, for his sake, you got to hope I assume his plan is like, no, this is the foundational period, and then we'll be able to kind of manage a little bit.
And that is what he said. Yeah. Like, he's like, we had to jumpstart this thing, get this thing back on the ground.
You got to put everything into it for a little while, make sure the base is right, and then hopefully you can transition to other stuff. Like, you can clearly see that's the plan. That's what's in place. Just, we hope it goes well. These things go well. Sometimes they go badly other times. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, this was an interesting thing, and I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it. To help hype the release of Superman, Gunn was doing a little interview conversation with Godzilla -1's Takashi Yamazaki. And Gunn says, I'm a big fan of Godzilla -1. It's such a beautiful film. I think that seeing movie makers who are able to make spectacle films like that are true to the nature of what a Godzilla movie is. It's not making fun of Godzilla movies. It truly loves them, and it has that human element to it. It's about people and human beings first and foremost. It's one of my favorite movies of the past few years, so thank you. And he says, I think that Godzilla -1 is so beautiful. It's so many things. It's a revolutionary film. One of the things I'm troubled by in the film industry is that people make what is considered artsy movies that are good, and people make commercial movies with popular characters, and they're just shoveled out there. The filmmakers don't seem to create them with love. So the first thing I look for in these movies is there a creator behind this film that is doing it with love? Do they care about the movie themselves, or are they just doing it to make money? And then to cap off the discussion, he invited Yamazaki to come and visit him at DC Studios, planting the seeds for the latter to potentially join his new comic book universe on the big screen. Please come to DC Studios. We'll make sure to figure something out. You can come by and see DC Studios, and I'll show you the original Superman costume that's in my office. That is interesting, because Godzilla -1 was critically adored, and it sounds like he's asking Yamazaki to like come hang out. They'll figure out something for him to do.
Okay, let's see.
That's what it feels like he's saying.
Yeah,
because
let's just get you in here and we'll get it sorted.
Because he's like sucking his dick. He's like, dude, I don't know. You care about all this shit, and like you made such an artsy film. You did something so great that you cared about. Like, we need that at DC Studios.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good call, dude. Like, I don't watch Godzilla movies. I've seen like 2 or 3 of them, and they bore the fuck out of me. But I have been very tempted to watch -1.
I have -1's reaction alone. I'm pretty sure it was that one, because there have been a couple recently that have had such a good reaction. I think Ryan was maybe the one that was talking to me about this last, but I think by name, there were a couple that were such a good reaction that I was like, God, maybe I should catch up on that. And -1 was, I hadn't thought about that in a while. The whole Godzilla universe, I think I kind of meant to go down that rabbit hole like a year ago and forgot about it.
Yeah, that's quite a rabbit hole.
It is.
There's a lot of Power Rangers looking shit in that rabbit hole.
I was looking for a rabbit hole at the time. It happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not coming out against you or anything, I'm just saying.
I ended up in
that is a rabbit hole, man.
Tatooine instead for a little while, but
yeah.
that'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'll happen too. That'll absolutely happen. So he responded to a few fans on Threads. He has said that Wonder Woman is a priority. We've talked about that. People have asked if it was being fast-tracked into production. He says, I wouldn't call it fast-tracked. Nothing is going to be shot unless we're as sure as we can get that script is going to be good. You know, unless we're as sure as we can be that the script is good. Jesus Christ. Like, my brain died almost 3 hours
into this. Yeah.
Yeah. He was asked by a fan if it was true that DC Studios was looking to cast the role with an actor who had a TV-centric resume. He said, nope. And I'd never in a million years look for a major role based on whether or not they did TV, films, or whatever. It's all about the casting. I didn't cast Millie because of her past, but because she was the best one for the role. But we're also not casting Wonder Woman, nor even discussing it until a script is finished. Now, in an interview, he did admit that, you know, because people were like, hey, you followed Adria Arjona, and he was like, you know, yeah, well, she would make a great Wonder Woman, but we're not actively casting the role.
Yeah.
He's also been very adamant lately. He's like, just because I follow somebody doesn't mean that they're going to be in DC. Jesus.
Yeah.
That just
Let me have a fucking social life.
Yeah. Now, Josh Horowitz asked if DC is anywhere on the Wonder Woman script. Gunn said yes. And when asked if the Wonder Woman movie feels distinct from what fans have seen in the Gal Gadot films, Gunn said, very, yes. I'm excited about Wonder Woman right now. And, you know, the Rap came out and said, oh, you know, and you know, the Rap, we don't fucking trust them. And no. Fucking Gonzalez or whatever.
I think there used to be a time.
Yeah.
Briefly, but.
Yeah. Anyway, the Rap said that it was being written by Anna Nagura, who penned Supergirl and the upcoming Teen Titans film. And Gunn was like, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
There are moments, especially with he's just been in front of the camera for weeks. A couple moments where something's been brought up and his reaction has almost been like, I'm almost glad you brought that up. I meant to bring that. I forgot about that one. Yes, that's real, and I should have mentioned that a day ago. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. He was also talking about my brain is gone. It was an interview with Pay or Wait, and Gunn responded to a direct question about bringing Nubia into the franchise. And do you know who that character is?
Only vaguely.
Okay, so. With the prequel series Paradise Lost and a new Wonder Woman film coming, it's very likely Nubia will be there anyway. And he said, yes, we are very much talking about that. I want to have all sorts of people represented in the DCU, and you might be happy in the not too distant future. Now, Nubia in the comics was introduced in 1973 in Wonder Woman 204. Her origin is presented as Diana's long-lost twin sister, sculpted from black clay by Queen Hippolyta. At the same moment, she formed Diana from white clay. In this initial story, Nubia was stolen at birth by Ares, the god of war, who raised her to be his ultimate champion. She eventually returned to Themyscira to challenge Diana for the title of Wonder Woman, proving to be her equal in strength and speed and combat prowess. And then her appearances were mostly sporadic, and then her continuity was often rebooted or ignored. Mm-hmm. And she enjoyed a modern resurgence during the Infinite Frontier era. And she's no longer Diana's twin, but an ancient Amazon who was the very first to bear the title of Wonder Woman, long before Diana was even born.
Mm. So they have shuffled this name around a good bit.
Yes. Okay. And then after a long absence from Themyscira, she returns to a fractured home, and following the death of Hippolyta, ascends to the throne to become the new queen of the Amazons. So, I don't know. It's a powerful black hero. Maybe she was Wonder Woman. Maybe she wasn't sometime. Like, it depends on the canon you're looking at. I think at some point she's always Wonder Woman somewhere. Like, sometimes, like, most of the time Diana's Wonder Woman. Sometimes Nubia takes over. And then sometimes this Artemis that takes over as Wonder Woman from time to time when Diana can't do it. Or she's dead or whatever bullshit thing happen, event series happen.
Yeah.
But that is neat. I'm interested to see what they do with all of this Amazonian stuff.
Yeah. I just kind of realized as you're saying it, like you never quite replace Wonder Woman outright. Like she's the child of however many unique gifts from gods. Like you can't.
Well, you never replace any of them for real.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they all have their own individual story of getting that crown separately. It's never an outright swap.
Yeah, I mean,
it's no Indiana Jones sack of sand.
Yeah, no. I mean, even that didn't work.
Yeah,
long term.
A lesson to us all. Right?
You're still running from the boulder.
Right.
You're still running from the boulder. It's why, Bruce will die sometimes, and as dicks do, Dick will pop in and pop out. But
I thought you were going to say rise.
No. You might have an ASBAT situation for a couple of months,
right?
3 months or so,
right? Yeah,
yeah. Sometimes 6 or 7 years, you get your Kyle Rayner, But eventually, Hal Jordan returns.
Yeah,
for good or ill.
Yeah, I think it's good for the character to have some kind of centralish area that it bounces around in. Mm-hmm. It's healthy. Mm-hmm. It keeps the name bouncing around, keeps it fresh.
Mm-hmm. Now, over on the Authority movie, which was
what Authority movie?
I know. Apparently, it's still on Gunn's mind. When he was asked about it, he sighed and said, "Yeah, but that's been a rough road." And then he said he moved the writer onto another project in the DCU that I think he's really killing right now. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Well, shit.
I think it tracks with what we were thinking before about it kind of getting morphed into this and that. Mm-hmm.
Swamp Thing. He was asked about James Mangold's Swamp Thing movie. He said, "We talked to James the other day. No, he has not delivered a script. He's been distracted with his billions of movies. But we're talking about it again."
What is... Okay.
Yeah. So it just kind of got ignored for a minute because Mangold was busy.
I mean, yeah.
And now he's back for a minute and they're talking about it again. Waller's still in development. A fan asked Gunn if rumors about the Waller show being reworked into a checkmate show were false. Gunn offered an unambiguous one-word reply, yes. And another fan pressed for more clarity, and they said, "So Waller is still in development?" And Gunn said, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we'll
literally mark the time and date.
Yeah. I was gonna say you can't ask for more, but you can. You really can.
I mean, you can. Yeah, I can ask for a follow-up, but at the moment, it's just not ready.
And Creature Commando Season 2 will have a big change. For the show's second season, Gunn will not be returning to write for the series.
Yeah.
It's going to have a writer's room. Because, as we just talked about, Mrs. James Gunn has been like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this anymore. You need to rest some.
I think there was like one story where he was basically on vacation with a laptop still. It's just like, damn it, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Gunn was also asked about Sergeant Rock, which was a movie that seemed like it was very close to happening with Daniel Craig. And then Horowitz asked Gunn if he hopes that it's going to come back around relatively soon. And Gunn said, hugely. Yeah, I'm really excited about Sergeant Rock. And he did confirm that Luca, the previous director, is no longer involved. So, but Gunn is excited about it. So Sergeant Rock is still a thing.
Okay.
Now this is interesting, and this has not been pitched to Gunn or anybody at DC, but this made the rounds. Zach Cregger, a director who did Barbarian, and he did this movie Weapons that just came out or is about to come out. He's kind of blown up, and he leveraged the success of Barbarian into making Weapons. I don't know if you've seen anything about it. It's like a bunch of kids start going missing, and they're just walking out of their houses at like 2 a.m. It looks kind of crazy. It looks a little creepy.
I have not seen anything. I was honestly just kind of waiting patiently for you to say anything I recognized, but so far I was coming up dry.
Oh, you don't know Barbarian?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you remember the girl that played Lyda Zod in Krypton?
Yes.
Okay, so there was a movie where she like goes to this house and
underneath the house is like fucking catacombs that some dude has like built, and there's like a monster down there that's like inbred creature. It's really fucked up movie. It's just, I don't even know if I'd say I liked the movie. But I watched it and it stayed with me. So, ugh.
I mean, that's probably good. Did not catch that one at all.
Right. So that one was a big success on streaming.
Gotcha.
At the very least. It was 2022. And, but interestingly, oh yeah, New Line Cinema, by the way, like, no, sorry, not New Line. New Line did Weapons. So, Sony just handed him the keys to fucking Resident Evil. So he's rebooting the Resident Evil universe over there.
That should be called resetting for specifically game-centric.
I like it.
Franchises.
I like it. But he did. There were some reports that came out, and then he admitted it. There. So that, that Daniel RPK or whatever, Daniel Reitman character was trying to say that like, he's got a thing lined up at DC Studios. He does not. And according to the reports, it was a Joker and Harley Quinn team up movie and that's just not true. But, there was clarification from a different scooper. And then like, you can actually go back and find Kreger talking about it himself. But so the idea is that it's not a Joker and Harley movie that's in development. It's not in development. He hasn't even pitched it, but it is a story. It's his favorite thing that he's ever written. Zach Kreger is his favorite thing he's written. He said he hasn't pitched it anywhere. The script does not even star Joker and Harley. It is centered on a henchman. This is something he did for fun. It likely won't get made. The report said it's not in development at DC. Do not get your hopes up. But Klegman did say it was set in the world of Batman. There's a script I wrote before Barbarian that takes place in Gotham City, and I actually love it. I think it's my favorite thing I've ever written. Believe it or not. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Nobody from Warner Brothers or DC. I haven't talked to anybody about it. I hope to one day. So yeah, that's like the idea of having seen the trailer for Weapons and Barbarian. I would love to see this guy actually get this made. I love this idea, this like small independent movie idea of you introducing a henchman who is just trying to manage his way through life as a henchman with all of these fucking horror characters like Joker and Two-Face and Clayface and all of these people who need henchmen. And then you're just sitting there like looking at these, I don't know, claws and beaks and whatever the fuck you're going to get out of these Batman villains. And like not only worrying about Justice Cryptid coming and taking you to Arkham Asylum or to Blackgate Penitentiary.
No, yeah, you're not going to Arkham. You're
also worried about, I don't know, you might have to, you have to be crazy to deal with some of these people.
Yeah, but unless you adopt a personality, you're not getting in that prison system.
Yeah, fingers crossed, though. Arkham might add the pleading insanity might actually be the bigger loss in Gotham.
Yeah,
but just like this idea of just like dealing with the horrors of Gotham City, like, yeah, you might escape the Joker for a minute, but then whoops, you stumbled into fucking Cornelius Sturck's house, and he's over here cooking up some little girl he found in a back alley somewhere.
Right.
Oh my God. Then you get out of there, somewhat scathed, just in time to run into fucking Victor's ass. Like, I don't know. I like that kind of notion. I'm curious.
Laid out that way, basically, if you're in the underworld life, like if you've entered the henchman lifestyle, if that's your resume, that's your CV you're walking around with.
Yeah.
Every day of life for you is no man's land.
Yeah.
There are just territories and diplomacy and all of it's life or death and a bunch of stuff on the wall that matters to you that doesn't matter to other people.
And I mean, I'm not saying I had this guy's idea or anything like that, but I have like thought about it loosely over the years, every once in a while, just been like, what must it be like? And that was like exacerbated
just
by
to try to be on the come up as a fucking henchman around there.
But that notion for me was exacerbated a bit when we were playing those Arkham games so much, and you would actually have the henchman over there being like, I don't know, I think Joker said this and this and this. Shut the fuck up, man. You don't want to say that. He might hear you. Like, that's fun.
Yeah.
And I hope this guy gets to make his Gotham movie, his henchman movie. Booster Gold, man. David Jenkins, creator of Our Flag Means Death on HBO Max. He confirmed Wednesday's news. He has been tapped to write and showrun the Booster Gold show.
It's just lovely.
In a post on Instagram, he did say that he is taking over the duties on Booster Gold from Danny McBride. We've never, we had heard Gunn say they were waiting for a while to see if they could get it done with the showrunner who's been busy. It looks like Danny McBride we didn't know who it was. I am so happy Danny McBride is not the one running this show. He's had a couple of projects that I've been interested in lately.
I don't know. I've watched an hour and a half of Righteous Gemstones. Maybe 2 hours if that premiere was long. And I really liked it. Like it's good. Like I know it's good.
Okay.
I haven't gotten around to finishing it or really getting in. I got distracted. I'll get back to it. But that was really good. Mm-hmm. Like for a pilot and a half. And by the way, the pilot and a half, like the first 2 episodes are very, very synchronized, like in a certain way. It's really 2 simultaneously done pilots in a lot of ways. Like there's a lot of good work in here that I did not know I was going to find. I didn't know I was going to be so damn curious. And, but I am now. So I'm not deeply surprised that there's something being considered, nor am I on the other side of it when I say that I do feel a little bit safer.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's the thing is like I've seen the trailers for Vice Principals and I've seen lots of ads and clips of Righteous Gemstones and I want to watch both of those things. But before that, Danny McBride was never someone that I actually like really liked seeing. Like he always kind of just like, it's that like brand of Will Ferrell humor that I never quite attached to.
Yeah.
There's a line where there's a bit where like Will Ferrell's funny and then he stops being funny and then that's so unfunny that it starts getting funny again.
Yeah.
But then there's like a step beyond where it's just Danny McBride being the most obnoxious motherfucker in the world.
And that's a thing.
It's a thing. And I'm not sure I'm down with that. I don't know. It's just, there's always like the Apatow crowd and the Lonely Island people. And there are these like clusters and Danny McBride finds his way into all of them. Maybe it's because he's a genius and I just don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah. I
don't know. Mark Maron basically just, said that I was a dullard for not liking Maria Bamford. So he said he doesn't want to say that, but I'm like, there are certain people I just don't get into. I just don't like them as far as what their work is. And I wish them the best.
I do that. I mean, I have whole genres where I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure it's just me, but I'm good without it.
So, but I'm very interested because just because Danny McBride isn't funny to me as a performer most of the time in other people's stuff doesn't mean that he's not going to make something and knock it out of the park. You know what I mean?
Right. Of course.
So I don't know. I think I agree with you. I feel safer with Danny McBride, having moved on from the Booster Gold project, especially since it seems like he's plenty busy. So busy that he can't seem to do this show. But David Jenkins says, it is true. I'm writing a pilot about this lovable goofball. Honored to work for James Gunn and very happy to inherit this project from Danny McBride, 2 of my creative heroes. Mm-hmm. And it was back in February. Gunn and Safran said that they were waiting on a particular showrunner creator to helm the series. And they did not say who it was. And then Safran at the time said maybe he fell out of love. Maybe he got busy, but we had to pivot. And I am very interested to see what happens because I've heard very good things about Our Flag Means Death. Mm-hmm. Mostly from you.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
And my sister, Brittany.
Yeah.
So
one of those shows where you crave the next episode. It happens. Mm-hmm, it happens. Mm-hmm. Kind of the way you and I have typically responded to like the late, I was going to say the late Ted Lawrence episodes. Like,
what the fuck?
I meant the late era of like, the ones as of late.
What's
not Ted Williams, Ted Lawrence, I guess.
What's Ted Lawrence?
Sorry, I meant to say like the Bill Lawrence area.
Oh,
sorry.
Bill Lawrence.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
sorry.
We Crave Shrinking and Ted Lasso and Bad
that,
Monkey okay.
Yeah, that sense of like
Gotcha.
actually being excited about it. Yeah.
Like, yeah, there were a lot of things that were just jacked
And
up
I put
about
the
what
late
you
in the
just
wrong
said.
place, and everything about that went wrong.
The
afterwards.
late Ted Lawrence.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me of is like 20 years ago or whatever it was back in when Kevin Smith was talking to Bruce Timm or somebody. I can't remember who he was talking to. But they were talking about Alan Burnett, and Kevin goes, "God rest his soul."
Yeah.
And they're like, well, he's not dead though, you know.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know why I put it that way, but yeah.
It just became like a little ongoing bit.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's the late Ted Lawrence. Who is Ted Lawrence, and why is he late?
Yeah.
You know, Ted Lawrence. He died, and we crave his episodes. No, I don't.
I don't even know who Ted. I don't know where I even got the Ted necessarily.
Oh, probably from Sam Lloyd, Ted from Scrubs, who
It's
is
stretchy.
who
I don't
did
think
die.
I made it that far. It may be. I don't think I made it. If that,
Well,
that would just derailed entirely.
we can also go with Krista Miller's husband on Shrinking is played by Ted McGinley.
Yeah, all that'd be purely subconscious. In
Well, I don't
in
know
real
why
time,
you're
I
doing
just remember it completely discombobulating in front of me.
or Ted Lasso.
Yeah, that's the most likely.
That's probably the most likely. Yeah.
Yeah, the closest to form.
Yeah, probably. All right. So I kind of held back on this one for a little bit, but
Okay.
during the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast with Josh Horowitz, he did ask about how it went with Cavill. Have you heard about this? Do you know what this is? Gunn says the day our deal closed. Terrible timing, by the way. All of a sudden, they were announcing that Henry was back. And I'm like, what is going on? We know what the plan is. The plan was to come in and do Superman. So it was really unfair to Henry. It was a total bummer. And he says, but it was a vacuum at DC at that time. And a lot of people were, I'm trying to be diplomatic as possible.
Yeah.
Other people wanted to take on what they wanted to do at DC and were trying to force their way in. And it was just never part of the equation for Warner Brothers Discovery CEO, David Zaslav. He did say, it was really unfortunate. He said, Peter and I decided the right thing to do was to sit down with Henry and talk to him. And we sat down and we talked to him. He was an absolute gentleman, a great guy about it. He said, the only thing I ask is that I'm able to reveal it myself as opposed to it coming from you guys. And, Josh asked if, he would be open, if it would be too confusing for Henry to play another character in the DC universe. And Gunn said, I talked to him about it on the day. On that day we talked about it. He said, I would love to put Henry in something. So, I don't know. Gunn seemed sad.
Yeah, I've seen the clip. He looks genuinely uncomfortable about the entire retelling.
Yeah. But it doesn't come off like I feel bad for a thing I did.
No, it just didn't like that
at that
meeting
point. At that point, Henry had not been part of the universe really for like 6 years or something stupid.
Yeah.
Like
he had been used as a bargaining chip, unfortunately. And it's not a coincidence about the timing. It got signed. There was movement forward. There was a new plan, and somebody's bright idea was to just pitch that out there and hope their idea stuck, and they'd have to go with it. But
I mean, we know who it was.
I forget which one was it.
That was Walter Hamada.
Yeah, I was afraid it was him.
Had said no. Hold on.
Okay.
The Rock went to Walter Hamada.
Oh, okay.
Walter Hamada said no. The Rock went, fuck you. And he went to DeLuca and Abdi and said, hey, I want to put Henry in Black Adam and I want to announce him coming back. Like, we want him back. And Abdi and DeLuca said, yeah, we're down for that. So, because they were the little interim people in charge. And I think they thought that if they announced Henry Cavill and go ahead and get Henry, they had a handshake agreement with Henry Cavill.
Right.
He showed up in Black Adam at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought, oh, well, this is what's going to happen, and he's going to come back, and everyone's going to be really excited, and David Zaslav is going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, of course, you're just going to keep going with this, and DeLuca and Abdi are going to be in charge because Walter Hamada is leaving because you've already canceled Batgirl, and he's already said he's going to do that, he was going to leave. Fine. But it just didn't work like that. Like, Zaslav was like, no, we're not doing that.
Gotcha. So DeLuca and Abney are
it's The Rock and DeLuca and Abdi.
Yeah. All three of them, really, I guess. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are my mustache twirlers for this scene.
I mean, really the problematic character here is The Rock. DeLuca and Abdi, they were very pro DCEU. They really liked Snyder. They really wanted to see where that was going to go. They wanted to be in charge. And I think they wanted to they were shooting their shot, but
that's why I've got them lumped in.
Yeah, I mean, they were partially to blame.
It sounds like they all three were like, if we just Deadpool this thing, no one will be able to stop the momentum. And Gunn was like, no, that's not what I wrote in at all. And Zaslav kind of was, I didn't authority. We just signed this giant contract with this guy. Y'all can suck it up on that one. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, sorry.
He didn't know their deal was going through on the day. Like on the day it went through, freaking all of a sudden there's an announcement that Cavill's coming back.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Yeah. I took a swing. Didn't work out.
All right. So Gunn was talking to Den of a Geek, and they were talking about how Jennifer Holland and Steve Agee were in, I guess, Black Adam and what was it? Was it Black Adam? Yeah, it was Black Adam and Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Mm-hmm. And I guess they were. What was Jennifer was Harcourt was running a prison, an underwater prison, and then for some reason Steve Agee and Harcourt were recruiting Shazam into the Justice Society.
God,
and
I forgot about that.
Anyway, Gunn says they're not canon. I hate it.
We're just not. Just no.
He has talked about that before, and he's just like, yeah, I don't know why they were doing all that. I don't know what the Justice Society has anything to do with Amanda Waller. I don't know why they were involved. No, they're just, that didn't happen. It's not canon. We're not doing it. Aztec Batman, Clash of Empires. They released a trailer. It looks like nothing I want to watch.
Yeah, wasn't going to be for me.
I hate it because it's like, I like, being like, I like to be the guy who goes like, yes, all the new things. And then they bring out like, hey, here's a weird idea. And I'm like, you're right. That is a weird idea. No, I don't want to watch that.
It looks real thorough. Like somebody mapped the hell out of those characters onto that universe. I just don't know. Yeah. I don't really care enough.
That's also like part of my problem with like the way they did Batman Ninja, where it was like, well, what if Batman goes back in time and he's in feudal Japan? And you're like, well, that's kind of an interesting take. And they're like, in order to do this, we really wanted to get all the main villains, and see what they were like. So we've created a completely outlandish scenario, even more so than the fact that he's gone back in time to feudal Japan.
Yeah.
Let's have all the bad guys do their take on feudal Japan. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to do that. Even though that movie was okay, it was, not great, but it wasn't the worst thing. But just like that on the Aztec Batman, I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess that's Two-Face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and now there's a Joker. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, now that's the Catwoman.
Oh,
y'all just doing the whole damn thing.
Ivy.
Y'all just doing the whole thing.
Yeah. Character for character.
Yeah, it's just like, now I'm starting to feel like it's overcrowded and that y'all are doing too much. Yeah.
I don't know. It might. I can't tell, because those are effectively just Elseworlds where, like, I say an Elseworld. In some of them, they're considered canon, but it's kind of like the spirit of Batman somewhere else. But there's a bit of me that doesn't like the spirit of Batman kind of stories show up in this place, because it has almost a vague mystical, mysticism-esque feel to it that is just not very Batman-y.
Yeah.
It doesn't come from a grounded place that I like.
Well, I don't care about grounded necessarily.
The motivation,
maybe I do,
because I like it being, a crime alley and a crime and then a vow and a bunch of humanity and all that kind of crap.
Right.
The preordained stuff doesn't hit as hard to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm also just bored by like Aztec stuff.
Yeah, it's never hit with me either.
Like, me and my sister like a lot of like conspiracies about, history and shit. And, I don't know, like what really happened here and was it aliens or what it was? And, she'll start talking about Aztecs and I'm like, can we go back to Egyptians?
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's something, I don't know if it's like an aesthetic thing, if that's like a thing in my brain where I'm just like, no, there are too many vines or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Some, it just depends.
I'm sure it's interesting if I give it a shot.
Yeah, some of the aesthetics hit earlier with me. Some of I get along differently with now than I did before. It does change a little bit because it is just an aesthetics thing.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I don't like trees with my pyramids.
Yeah. That was one straight flat desert. Like the actual history and all that's really cool. But yeah, the imagery itself never struck me the same. Except for that creepy ass show where they pulled the kids into the walls.
Oh, you talked about what is
Legends
that?
of the Hidden Temple, I think.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. OMAC and shit, or whatever his name is. Yeah.
I'm sure. I feel like it wasn't OMAC. We just want to call it that.
Yeah, it was like OMAC.
Was it? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I can double check it real quick. They did a movie. They also did like a new version of the show. Yeah, Olmec.
With
yeah,
less child abuse, presumably.
Oh yeah, these were adults. Yeah. It was also not good.
Yeah. You can get adults. I mean, I watched it growing up, and even after you told me about all the bad times, I'm still like, okay, but if you set that up, I would go through it. I mean,
they have all the
as an adult would go through it.
They have all the Legends of the Hidden Temple episodes on Paramount Plus. Yeah. My wife had fond memories of the show, and I was just angry that it replaced Nick Arcade.
I watched it every day I could.
Yeah, I just aggravated because I loved Nick Arcade.
I
was like, hell. I mean, that was a show where they played video games.
I don't remember that one at all. So apparently I was not watching that time slot until Legends came on.
Dude, yeah, it was like the year before. It was like the year before it was like Nick Arcade, and like it was like kids. They would bring in like video games that hadn't come out yet, and they would play the video games and like compete, and then like whoever won got to go through like this like green screen setup. Like this, it was pretty cool. It was like a set that was green screen, but like when we watched it at home, it looks like they're running around in a 2D video game level. You should check it out. It's on Paramount Plus, but it's fun. And they all of a sudden Nick Arcade wasn't coming on. It was Legends of the Hidden Temple, and I was like, this is boring.
You bastards.
You sons of bitches. Took away my only joy on Sunday afternoon.
It's handy those are on Paramount, so you can refer back in therapy sessions.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Like we were watching, the other night, we were watching a bunch of episodes of Nickelodeon's Guts with the Aggro Crag.
Yeah.
You know, Mike O'Malley.
Yeah. Dude,
it like killed me too. Like, did you ever watch the Goldbergs?
The show?
Yeah.
I had started to a couple times. It was good. It's one of those, the wife watched it and I stereotypically stood in the doorways and all that.
Yeah, it's good until about season 8. And then after that, season 7 or 8. And then like after that, the show was basically holding on by Tim Meadows. Like Tim Meadows was the only one carrying that son of a bitchin' show, dude.
You know, to make it that far for that's pretty good.
Like
it's a great run.
It's pretty bad. It's like season 7 is when Adam Goldberg took his name off of the show entirely and took it off of his Twitter bio.
Oh, all right. So I got about 5 good years worth of show in there.
And like the last season or the season before, I think is where like they fired, what's his face? Curb Your Enthusiasm guy. What was his name? The guy that played Jeff on Curb Your Enthusiasm. What is his name? I can't remember. But he's the dad. He was the dad on the show. Okay. And they were like, oh, he says inappropriate things. And he's been saying, Jeff Garland, yeah. Oh, he says inappropriate things. And like he sits down and he grunts and he goes, oh, my vagina. Mm-hmm. And it's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. And, he hugs us too much. We don't like it. And so like, the internet's divided. Like, people are like, well, apparently Adam Goldberg was just, letting him be on the show and harass people. And then other people are like, no one's ever had a problem before this. Like they think it's like the woman who played the mother because she was pretty outspoken about like, finally someone did something about it. And I don't know what to believe. Like, it does just seem like an old guy who was used to being on Curb Your Enthusiasm was too blue around people on a family show. Mm. I don't know though, but I've also seen that he's like a really touchy-feely guy. Like he hugs a lot of people. Like he, behind the scenes on Curb and stuff, he's just he seems like a big teddy bear who just like wants to be friendly and hug people. Just and a big galoot, I don't know what to believe.
Yeah,
I don't. But they did.
But the lesson I'm learning is that the show unraveled.
The show unraveled. They kept writing him off, and then like they would have like weird CGI scenes where it was like clearly not him, and it was just like his head on someone else's body. And sometimes he wasn't clearly wasn't in the same room. And they would just have like this weird like CGI version of him like over in the corner. It was just weird, dude.
That is fucked up.
And it was really fucked up. And then they killed him off. And I think like
mercifully into the entire experiment.
I think Adam Goldberg's actual dad is still alive. Anyway, so the older brother on the show, the guy, and he's always got like a sports jersey on, and he's just he yells a lot, and he's just super obnoxious. I realized that it was Mike. Mike O'Malley is just that character in Guts. He's just like, he's in a giant hockey jersey all the time, and he's just screaming into this microphone. Mm. He's got dark curly hair. He looks like the character. He looks like Barry, Adam's older brother on the show. Mm. It is really weird. Maybe someone who watches will know what I'm talking about, but anyway. All right.
I love how much the abusive era of Nickelodeon spiraled into other abusive eras. It's just a time where we all lost something,
I don't know if it was abusive. Those kids seem like they were confused but having a good time.
The Legends kid? Yeah.
No, on Guts, on Nickelodeon Guts.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh, no, the kids did get abused on Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yeah, that actually, they did like a documentary where they were like, yeah, this was fucked up. People were getting hurt.
We just, I feel like our generation all went through something a few years ago where we now just kind of blanketly accept it. Like, yeah, a lot of that was bad, huh? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of people were just like, I don't know. It's like, oh man, kids today are so soft, and their trauma. There's no such thing as trauma. I did this when I was a kid and I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how you, get drunk and talk about it every week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so? I mean, that's trauma.
Yeah. That's what that
That's trauma.
Yeah, but okay, that's not being okay.
I just don't know why everything's trauma now. Because that's what it's called, Dip.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you're literally bleeding. You call it blood, right?
You would hope. That's not blood.
Presumably, you would do what? Finish the word for it. Fix it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's not blood. That's just character juice.
Yeah.
That's how you build character, and that's the juice that comes out when you build in the character.
Yeah. Watch, if you light it on fire, it caramelizes and then holds the rest in.
So, a bunch of stuff dropped on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Just available for free. Batman Unlimited, Animal Instincts, The Batman vs. Dracula, Batman Beyond, The Return of the Joker. I'm assuming not the uncut version. Green Lantern, First Flight, Superman Shazam, The Return of Black Adam, Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero, DC Superhero Girls, Legends of Atlantis, and Wonder Woman Bloodlines. And then other titles that are on the service are already were Batman Mystery of the Batwoman, Batman Gotham Knight, Batman vs. Robin, Batman Bad Blood, and Superman Doomsday.
So when is YouTube
the
whole animated universe now? All right.
Not the whole animated universe, but a lot of stuff. I'm a little jealous
about that Superhero Girls thing. I spent a lot of money on that back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It was one of the when your daughter's watching stuff that that time could be spent a lot of ways. I was pretty grateful that it was DC Superhero Girls for a while.
Sure. You just answered a question from the feedback.
What's that?
We'll get to it. But first, we're getting into feedback now.
All right.
We're out of the news. Let's get to this Lorenzo Valdez voicemail.
Gotcha.
And we're gonna hit on that right now.
Dave and Jason, this is Lorenzo Valdez calling in once again. First off, I say keep up the long episodes. This last episode, your review of your second viewing of James Gunn's Superman, it was such a fun episode. And quite possibly, it made me laugh harder than any of your episodes since several years ago. The episode when Dave told the story, the I'm Not Real story. Well, on this episode, there was a moment when Dave was talking about different people who had been sitting near him at movies. And that might have been the hardest I've laughed at one of your podcast episodes since that previous I'm Not Real story that Dave told. And I'll tell you what, when this movie comes out on home video, you guys should do a commentary track, and Dave, you should invite those people who are sitting near you onto the commentary track with you guys. Because listen, I don't know if you were exaggerating a little bit how funny they were, but your impersonations of these people was so funny to me that I think that having them on a commentary track with you guys would be hilarious. You guys brought up Michael Emerson's Joker performance in The Dark Knight Returns. He's actually my favorite Joker voice actor. Yes, even more than Hamill. He creeps me out so much in that performance. I mean, his delivery of the Batman darling line. It's just, I love that so much. I didn't like him as Caden James on Arrow, but I loved him recently as Brainiac on My Adventures with Superman. But to me, in terms of his 3 DC roles, the one that stands out the most is as the Joker in The Dark Knight Returns. Phenomenal performance there. Now, with regards to Eternals, you brought up Marvel not touching on plot elements, really picking up on plot elements from that film. And I know, Dave, I think you still haven't seen Captain America Brave New World. I won't spoil how those plot elements play into that film, but they do pick up on some plot threads from Eternals in that film. Kalana forever and always. Bye-bye.
Lorenzo, buddy, thank you so much for sending in the voicemail. It has been a long time since we had a voicemail. Actually, I think Lorenzo sent us another voicemail, and it was just I couldn't figure out where to put it because it was just had nothing to do with anything we were talking about right now.
Okay.
That was a few weeks ago.
Gotcha.
I love that so many of our listeners like the really long ones.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Congratulations, you got another one.
Yeah, but you know what? Then I feel bad when we do an hour because I'm like, man, we are really letting down some people.
No, yeah. It's gonna bounce.
Some of our most vocal people who love the show are like, man, you're only giving us an hour and a half?
Yeah, I know. But I would be terrified to know what happens if we try to make some of those. Because we really just do it until we're done talking. So I would. Oof. I don't know what it would kind of bullshit we'd descend into trying to fluff that out for 2 more hours.
It was funny because like a week or two ago, I don't know, we had a couple of nights where we talked on the phone. One night we talked for like 5 hours. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, good Lord, that would have been like a Rogan episode.
Yeah.
But, you could trust the information.
Yeah. I think we could hang in there for a good while. But, yeah, we do mostly cut it out once the page notes are up, which, spoiler alert, we're hitting the end of at this juncture.
Yeah, we're coming close, very close. So
you can see the airport from the side windows of the plane.
But yeah, love that, Lorenzo. Man, I love that you love the 3-hour cast.
Yes, thank you.
It's looking like it's going to be a little bit more than that this time.
In excess of that. Yeah.
Possibly. We'll see after the edit, but we're, by our time, we're looking at 3 hours and 50 minutes. 50, not 15. Yeah. Now, I wish, he said that my story about the annoying people during the 2 different showings of Superman was, he laughed harder at that than he's laughed in ages since the I'm not there story. Which I feel somewhat obligated to tell again, but the very truncated version of that was I got a flat on the interstate, and it just wound up being a super long fucking day. And I was so tired by the end of it. And I wound up being towed to this place that sold tires. And I'm just standing outside waiting on them to bring my car around. And this woman starts rattling at me, talking about something, and thinks that asking me questions like I'm an employee. And I meant to look at her and say, no, ma'am, I don't work here. But what I actually said was, no, ma'am, I'm not real. Totally by accident. So that's that story. But no, even if I had gotten,
I hope she tells that to this.
I know
her side of it. What she calls you, I don't even want to start to speculate on.
That damn millennial. Even if I had any idea who those people were, like I don't even know what their faces look like.
Yeah, true. In the dark. But good news. They may be at the next showing of whatever we see anyway. So.
But I would not be inviting those people onto the show.
It would strain your sense of grace beyond repair, I think.
Yeah, no. Michael Emerson, saying that you like him even more than Mark Hamill is a bold fucking statement, dude. As is you saying you didn't like him in Arrow as Caden James. I got tired of that story, but that motherfucker carried that season of Arrow. Like, if I remember correctly, that was the original Team Arrow and new Team Arrow split up and are basically acting like little bitches to each other the entire season.
Yeah, I do remember that one. I forgot he even existed in that, so that should place some of my opinion. But
I thought he was a very strong Joker, though.
He was a strong Joker. The thing I really like about I know it's bold. I know it is bold, but I do like the fact that that's having a very specific flavor that you're very passionate about, which I can respect.
Yeah, I can respect it. I respect it all day. I'm just saying it's bold as fuck. Like you going against Mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is though. It's I mean it's like, lemon teriyaki wings being your favorite, but like, fucking, Buffalo Ranch is right there. Like we all like it for a reason, but I get why the other one's on the menu.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I love Michael Emerson. I love him on Lost as the villainous, sometimes misunderstood Ben Linus.
I like him as the reason I was maybe going to try Person of Interest before I didn't care.
I was about to say, dude, Michael Emerson on Person of Interest. I was like, oh, and then I know Amy Acker's on that show, and I love Amy Acker.
I didn't even know about that. Maybe I'm not sure.
But Jim Caviezel, nah, man, he can go fuck it. He can just whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. Is it a couch? Is it
that'll work.
Is it a bear trap? I don't know what it is, but
yeah,
to think that you're as high and holy as Jim Caviezel thinks he is. I'm like, dude, lightning hit you twice while you were filming Passion of the Christ. Just fuck yourself. Whatever the higher powers in the universe, they weren't pleased with you.
Yeah, they were not well pleased by
weirdo.
He is method acting a little too hard on this role that was 25 years ago.
Oh, and there's some other stuff, but we'll just go move along. So he said he was glad to hear I'm glad. God, I'm tired. I'm glad to hear they've picked up some of the stuff from Eternals on the new Marvel stuff. I actually do look forward to catching up. We both made it out to see Fantastic Four last night, as we said.
We did.
And we are going to do a Patreon exclusive conversation about that soon.
Yeah.
But I was thinking I might do some catch-up Patreon exclusives. Not unlike your Jason's pull list of Marvel stuff. And I can let you know when I'm doing that if you want to join. But I've got a lot of shit. I've got a lot of shit to catch up on.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to lock you in. I didn't want to be like, Jason's going to do it with me, motherfucker. No.
Yeah, I think I'd like to be there for a lot of those. I think some of it will, depending on how far you're going back far enough for that to definitely be a thing. You'll be able to get to spots where my memory is going to be better, but some of that will just be you explaining to me what happened again.
But like when I say like you are not required, it is a mercy. I just finished the first episode of Inhumans.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is right. I do actually kind of want to. I do want to hear you. I don't know. It's like saying I would like to be there for the exorcism when you.
It might be worse.
Your thoughts.
It might be worse because I didn't hate it, dude. I didn't hate that first episode.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
There are definitely some things where I was like, "That's fucking dumb," but
I don't remember that at all. Yeah, this a large chunk of that, for whatever parts of that,
dude,
I'm there for, will just be you explaining what happened to me and be like, "Oh man, that does sound exciting." That you explain it.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Or
to save
reminding me going, no. I do remember that.
To save the Patreon users or some time. Mm-hmm. And sanity. I think I might just make some notes and just do like that season as an episode and just talk about it if you'd like to join. But whatever. I've got some Daredevil to go back for. I've got some Jessica Jones to go back for. I've got so many movies.
I have a few. I'm actually finishing S.H.I.E.L.D. I have the last episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. queued up.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, dude.
And then I got to go back for the Daredevil universe I haven't finished. You reminded me of that. Other than that, I thought I was basically done. I thought S.H.I.E.L.D. was like this weird blip where I wasn't caught up, that I was going to be like, oh man, that's weird. I'll catch up. No, there's some Daredevil stuff I haven't done. Yeah. Or not Daredevil proper, but universe.
And dude, like there's stuff that from like the old school that I kind of want to go back for just to say I got to it. Like Elektra, Jennifer Garner in Elektra. I never even watched that movie.
I think I did watch that.
I bought that movie in the $5 bin and never watched it.
You remember what year it came out offhand?
I want to say 2005.
Because that feels right.
I want to say
that was in my pirating era, so that's my memory is watching it off a computer, which makes sense.
Yes, 2005.
Yeah, okay. So I have watched that.
I'm awesome.
Once Upon a Crime.
Once Upon a Crime. But yeah, I would love to. I don't want to like make you. I don't want to say that you've got to do it with me because God. But
I'm interested.
That's that would be hellacious to force.
I would like to sign up for series regular. Is that
sure? We could do that. Andre Sparks. Let's see. Andre Sparks says, my kids watch DC superhero girls, and in later seasons, the Supergirl becomes more punk rockish with attitude. I feel like the new Supergirl will be like this. I don't know if Jason has watched it with his kid, but he may know what I mean if you haven't watched. Mm-hmm. Oh, and this Mr. Terrific is way better than the Arrowverse version. Definitely going to be one of my Halloween costumes this year. Hey, Andre sent along a picture of short-haired DC superhero girls, punk rock Supergirl, one in the traditional Supergirl costume and one with her jacket. And actually, it might shock you, Andre, to know that Jason hasn't definitely watched this with his daughter, and I have too. I've watched it with his daughter. Mm-hmm. Like, we've watched it together.
I did forget you even there for that. Yeah,
I was around for a bunch of that.
They did some of the reinvention. I forget how it works. There was some weird Cartoon Networkery going on, but it was the show kind of got reinvented.
Yes,
a few in a couple of versions.
Wonderfully, I did not care for the first version of it so much. Like, it was very, God, it was almost traditionally
clinical in a way.
It's very I don't know, stripped down little House on the Prairie DC superheroes girls.
Yeah, a little.
They don't have style.
There wasn't much edge at all.
Yeah.
Not really much going on there. Everything's very sterilized, but and very kidified. But it had its charms, and it was a very nice show with a lot of compelling qualities for a 3 or 4 year old girl. Mm-hmm. So I did, and there's definitely like a change in that series when they come back with like the punk rock version, which it's going to be a lot more fun. Where like I think there's episode where that Wonder Woman's mom is that's like her mother figure that she wishes she had. There's a whole episode about that. Mm-hmm. that actually did get more interesting. It's one of those shows that you're happy to have in the background, like I said earlier. You're happy to have it when other choices could have been made with your time.
Yeah.
So you end up going way more into the universe you end up having way more thoughts than you wish you had. You're seeing side characters. Oh, cool. They're pulling it up. Oh, God. Big Bertha's going to be a big
Barda
player in this. Or Big Barda's going to be, a big player in this whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw, like, it was one of those things where, like, I was hanging out over there and then you had that on and I was like, oh, well, shit. They kind of changed it up on the show a little bit. Look at that.
Yeah, and then when that started going into the movies, some of them are kind of genuinely not bad, especially for that age group. For that age group, genuinely very good. For any age group, genuinely not bad.
Mm-hmm. I did like it because it seemed like it was aging up with its audience.
Yeah, it was something you could grow with. I think if you were at the right cohort for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. Yeah, we didn't talk about it on the show, but I haven't seen every episode. Maybe you have, but.
I doubt it. It's so scattered. But I've spent a ton of money buying that damn show. Just seasons and movies and blah 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 to feed the monster that is a growing child and their curiosity about things.
Did you ever?
And also, God forbid, like I was going to keep buying that because I don't want her to run out of steam on the show that I'm half enjoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you ever get around to Justice League Action? I never finished it.
No, I never did finish that. I think I've attempted a couple times.
But those are like some nice little vignettes. Like Evelyn would probably really enjoy that, and that's pretty well one of the last bits we're going to get with Hamill and Conroy.
Oh, definitely is. That is one of those. I think I tried with her at some point. She kind of liked it, drifted off, and I haven't thought about it ever since.
Yeah, well, because you just jumped her from like superhero girls to like Wonder Woman beheading Steppenwolf.
Yeah. Well, she was a huge fan of that scene.
I know. But, then you can't bring them back.
No.
They're like, what is this cartoony shit?
Yeah. Shark jumped.
All right. And you sent me this one. Shimon over on, what is this? Is this, this was Spotify?
Yeah.
Said that I love that y'all don't shit on the past DC universe. We absolutely do. But thank you for saying that, Shimon.
Well, I mean, there's some truth to it. We try to keep some love for the stuff that got us here.
We got love. We're honest about what we don't like, I think. Yeah. And that's when we first started, we get people being like, oh, they're fucking harsh. Y'all are harsh. You're harsh.
Probably were.
We were.
We would have definitely framed her.
But you know what?
Said it this way.
Look, there's plenty of it I love. There's plenty of it that I love. But, I mean, we were actively dealing with Arrowverse multiple times on a weekly basis.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
and that'll make anyone a bit chippy, I think.
Yep. And
when it was great, it was truly great. When it was a slog, it was a lot of slog. Because there were like 7 freaking shows at one time at the peak of it.
Mm-hmm. It was... that's a good point. The other night, last night, you said that we should have a shirt that says, I survived the Arrowverse. And I was like, I don't want to be that mean about Arrowverse. But you know what?
I don't either.
You know what? The sheer breadth of it, if we don't even look at the quality aspect of it, I feel like it's still okay. So you know what? I'm going to design that shirt.
That's fair.
And I'm going to put it up. Y'all can buy it, and I'll if you want it. And we're going to get that underway.
We'll proudly wear it, though. Again, though, you please don't take it necessarily as a slight. Right. You have to understand, like, you get the same shirt for like eating the 48-ounce steak at whatever weird steak houses and only movies that I've ever seen, because I've ever been in one like that, or they give you the shirt off the wall and everything's free that night.
Yeah. I think I saw an episode of King of the Hill like that.
Yeah, I learned about it from a John Candy movie a long time ago.
Of course you did. All right, so sorry, Shimon. Sorry. I love that y'all don't shit in the past DC universe. I'm just glad that this time we finally have a plan for this universe. It's off to a great start, and slowly DC will get better as time goes on. Since I'm assuming by next episode y'all will talk about the box office numbers, my question to y'all is: are y'all worried about the movie flopping? Not at all. The only thing I'm worried about is how loud the Snyder fans are going to be. Also, I love this podcast so much. Y'all make my days better, and that comment made my day better when I got it.
Makes us feel hell better, yeah.
And
I'm not worried about it flopping. I am aggravated because I knew that, like, no matter how good the movie did, the loud, spiteful Snyder fans were going to claim that it was a flop. Like, it was never going to do better. Like, and if it did, like, if it went, it could have done like $2 billion at the end of it, all of this. And they would say that somehow they cooked the books to make it look like it was, better than Man of Steel.
Sure. And don't get this wrong either. Like, there was a low bar where if this movie didn't perform at a certain spot, we might have it might have been easier to just pay off James and Peter and call the whole thing done.
Yeah,
like
could have been.
105 mil or something at this point, 2 weeks in. Like, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. No, like, 502 million 2 weeks in? No, we're not there.
We're doing great.
We're not dead.
Numbers do matter, but we hit a good one.
We passed 400 million worldwide 6 days ago.
Yeah.
And now we're at 502 million.
Yeah.
We
are in good shape. Now, I do think when that was all future tense when that question was asked.
Yeah, it was.
So we have the actual answers to that question now.
We have the answers, and I wasn't worried about it flopping either way. Like, if it didn't do well, it didn't do well, and I'm pretty used to things that I love being canceled. Resident Alien, for example.
Yeah.
Firefly. Like, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. Yeah. I'm well schooled in this tradition of falling in love with a thing and having it taken away from me.
Having it go away.
And I mean, for that matter, the Snyderverse.
Right. Which we liked just fine.
I would have loved to have seen Justice League 2 and 3 and the Chinese Atom movie and the solo Ben Affleck versus Deathstroke movie and everything. Yeah. Like, I wanted to see that original Rick Famuyiwa Flash movie. Like, yes.
I wanted the Grant script.
I wanted to see Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad and his Gotham City Sirens. Like, everything that has been brought up, I have wanted to see, damn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would still be fine if Grant Gustin came back as the Flash. All right, cool. Let's do a completely different version of Gustin. We're doing completely different versions of fucking Peacemaker, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Like, yes, I'm good.
Yeah, and several of the people in Arrowverse, Dead to Rights were good enough to be on any screen, big or small.
I said that back then, and Snyder was like, no, if it doesn't really fit the tone. And I'm like, okay, well, tones are different all over. It's one of the things I'm really excited about with James Gunn, where he's like, oh, yeah, the movies are going to be different in tone. I'm like, thank Christ.
Yeah,
someone who understands tone.
Yeah, we're going to get a minimum of Neapolitan level flavors of ice cream up in this thing. So
yeah, which I maintain that when Snyder said that, he was trying to come up with an excuse because he just knew he wasn't going there. He wasn't doing Arrowverse. It wasn't he actually thought that the tone was too different. Anyway.
It might have depended on the episode he called too.
It might have been. If he
ever
like
called Legends, yeah.
I mean, I don't even think Legends was there yet when he said that. That was so early on. I think it was just Arrowverse and The Flash. And we were like, when our show started, Supergirl was starting.
Yeah.
I think our second episode was talking about the leaked Supergirl episode.
Right. It was. I don't know though. That might have been long enough to have, and just based on pure jokes per minute, that alone, which used to be kind of what people meant when they said tone. He's probably right about just like, there's just way more jokes in an episode of any of that than I'm doing on anything in my entire movie. Just outright no.
He saw one episode, it was Geomancer.
Yeah. And thought, I can't top that. We'll just move on.
Yeah. All right.
Geomancer.
Dretude writes to us and says, when it is a fun episode of something you all enjoyed, then the episodes can be multiple hours. Thank you for the kind words, by the way. You're very welcome, and thank you.
And thank you
for the kind words. Zach Champion says, if you want some good body horror recommendations, watch An American Werewolf in London and the new Wolfman from Lee Whannell. And I gotta tell you, Zach, I don't want any good body horror recommendations.
I did actually watch American Werewolf in London recently, and it's struck me how different that was in my memory. I remember it being a little more whimsical.
Yeah.
It is not. It is not. That ending is harrowing.
I remember, certain things from Total Recall. I have some memories. I have some memories of some things. I watched Slither, which I believe was a James Gunn movie.
It was.
Yeah. I've seen some.
That was the first, I think.
I've seen some fucked up stuff. I don't, Generally, I am eating if I'm watching a movie, so I'm good.
I don't remember much about Slither other than like a couple of parts being torn off.
I mean, the gross thing for me is just what they are.
I don't remember that at all. That was definitely a college. A college movie.
Yeah, that was like a $5 in the Walmart bin kind of thing.
A version, yeah.
Or a pirated version. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Silas Rodell over on the Discord. We have a Discord. I don't know if anybody knows about that.
Yeah. Please join.
Clearly, Silas knows about the Discord.
Mm-hmm. We don't use it very often. It's always there, and it's convenient to hit up.
Anytime I think about it, it's because you brought it up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we're still doing that? That's still around?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I was like, how do I get into it? Like, I don't even know. But Silas Rodell says, I hope this is okay. Of course it's okay, Silas. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Very welcomed.
Bring it on.
I wanted to share a thought about the new Superman movie. My real name is Rob, if you choose to share it. Fine, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Jesus,
Hello.
Rob. Not Silas. I'm so confused. One part of the movie I really liked hasn't really been talked about. Earlier in the movie, Guy spills to Lois that Clark's glasses make it so people don't recognize he is Superman. Later in the movie, it is proved how powerful they are. God. After Lex kills the guy who gave Superman free food once and helped him out of the hole, Lex says to Superman something like, maybe next time I'll kill your reporter friend Clark Kent. So Lex Luthor, who has a huge hate boner for Superman and loves being the smartest asshole in the room, doesn't know that Clark Kent is Superman. He has studied everything about him and can't see past the glasses. Now, in the comic, there's, I don't remember how it all goes, but there is a thing that Clark talks about with the hypnotic glasses where it warps the lens or something and it makes the lens see what he is hypnotically projecting.
Yeah.
And that's why people don't see. But it sounded like to me in the movie, Lex just was aware that Clark Kent was some reporter. Like, he was like that reporter who always interviews you.
So, yeah, he's just on the bulletin board as someone that might affect Superman enough that he's going to look into it. I'm
not sure that putting a picture in the paper is required. If Clark was just like, I don't want my picture in there, then would they really do it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm curious. I don't know.
I think it was a fine point about how strong the glasses really are, but I still don't really know how they work. They just sort of say they work. Although I did, in retrospect, some of the interviews have, some of the press barrage have brought up that Lex may have been super involved in some of these people's lives at the Daily Planet for years now.
Mm-hmm.
In one case, incredibly involved, but he's been a known quantity. So he's going to know a major reporter, or maybe the top 3 or 4 major reporters at any local paper. Yeah, that's also an international paper.
Mm-hmm. But I do worry. I do wonder, and I liked your point because you had a whole conversation with him on Discord where you were like, it would be interesting to see them face to face as Clark in the glasses to see if Lex flinched and noticed anything was off. Like how every once in a while, in a very long while, some special people notice the slip of paper, the psychic paper from Doctor Who. Yeah, that would be really cool. And by the way, I love that you guys started talking about Doctor Who because I also love Doctor Who, and I'm also incredibly behind, as both of you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Silas says, or Rob says, I've been listening to you guys for years. Not exactly the beginning, but not far off. Dude, thank you so much for listening.
Yes,
and finally writing in. I love getting emails and messages from people who are just like, by the way, I was here almost from the beginning or whatever it was. And I've just decided never to fucking talk to you guys in 10 years, but I love you to death. I love that kind of shit. So if you guys are out there, and I know there are some of you out there, please write in dconscreen@gmail.com. I like hearing that kind of stuff. I like to feel good.
Yeah, of course.
Every once in a while, I don't want to have to be shoving some sort of Little Debbie product down my gullet to feel good. I like for listeners to make me feel good and be like, hey,
some sort of social reward mechanism that supplants the need for killing yourself with things. Yeah,
Jesus Christ, yeah, which
is fair.
I mean, let's call it is. Call it what it is. But speaking of that. I think we're done.
It's also anyone who's been around that long probably has something interesting enough that we would like to talk about.
Absolutely.
Or I don't know what the hell you've been doing for this long.
I don't know what you're doing.
If you're not interested in the stuff that we're talking about at this point.
I don't know.
Waiting for an apology? In that case, I'm sorry.
Well, my friend Amy has told me that she doesn't really care anything about DC, but she just likes to have me on in the background because it's her friend.
Oh, that's
it's just the voice of her friend in the background. I'm like, okay, I wouldn't listen to a friend's podcast if I didn't like or care about what they were talking about. But interestingly enough, though, when I'm like, well, I do a Star Trek cast too, and she's like, I don't know anything about Star Trek. I don't like Star Trek. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't know how that works, but okay, I get it though. I get it. In some ways, like, Batman and Superman enough, just as like I think like most people would be like, oh yeah, like at least in the US, like, people know Batman really a lot worldwide. Mm-hmm. Superman's not quite as known in certain places. Like that's why one of the reasons it's having trouble in certain places in China and shit. Gunn got a lot of shit for saying that, by the way, because everyone was like, everybody knows what that S means. Everybody knows what the S stands for, but not every. It's like, like I know what Naruto is, but I've never watched it. I don't really have, like, I'm not going to go watch a movie. You can know what Superman is roughly, but that doesn't mean you're going to, like, care about it enough to go see a movie. So anyway.
Yeah, and then we're fighting a little bit of, right in the middle of some pretty heavy anti-American sentiment, and depending on the corner you're in right now, like like having a big guy that's basically dressed like half a flag is not necessarily the best advertisement right now in some corners. Like that's definitely going to hit.
And people are saying like, well, he's making excuses. No, he doesn't have to. The movie's done really well. Like,
I think it's doing fine on its own merits without all the extra.
And he's also right, because in that same statement he talked about like how they're seeing good numbers on the weekdays, and it's just,
I would also contend there's a fine line between excuses and reasons.
They're still, building stuff, rebuilding DC. That's one of the things that I don't think we've talked about on the show. You and I've talked about it a lot, and that's, a lot of the people who are like comparing it to Man of Steel. Man of Steel was a completely different time. And streaming was not at all what it was. Like my wife had a Netflix account, and that meant that she got DVDs in the mail. People, and Man of Steel was coming right off of Dark Knight Rises, and everyone was excited about Nolan doing something with Superman now. And like at the time that Man of Steel came out, nobody was going Zack Snyder. Everybody was going, oh, Christopher Nolan's doing that, right? Because they made a point to show his name in the trailer prominently. Yeah. Anyway, they
wanted the crossover.
Lots of things going on, and everyone was also excited about Man of Steel because it meant DC was doing the same thing that Marvel was doing. Like, oh, they're starting a universe. They're starting a thing with Superman, and they're ignoring Green Lantern. Thank God. And I'm over here going, no, that was okay.
No, we should have just shot what was on their first script and okay. Or just release what was all okay.
Too many restarts.
Yeah. Anyway, that was what we got in this show. But like the 2013 Man of Steel release compared to now is a very different landscape for so many reasons. And then not to include just that like money's a little tighter right now in a lot of pockets, and like people don't do certain things that in 2013 were a little more available. Like dispensable income took a hit for most of the population, and like that doesn't also include like we're post quarantine years now, and that has forever changed the amount of asses that will be in seats for theaters.
Barbenheimer notwithstanding.
Substantially. Yeah, but not major social events notwithstanding. It's just a different environment. And it always will be.
Whole hell of a lot of more comic book movies out there, too.
Oh, hell yeah. And even access to these things is faster. I mean, like, I think the digital purchase for Superman will be available in, like, August or something.
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't think so. Because, like, someone asked if Superman...
Where was that?
Someone asked if Superman would be available on streaming before the Peacemaker come out, and he was like, not even close to.
Yeah.
Like, it's doing well enough. It's going to be in theaters for a long time now. It's just going to be.
This? Or did I see that? I'm just looking it up real quick. I'm curious.
No, I don't know. I don't know what you saw. Maybe the Steelbook Blu-ray might be available for pre-order in August, but I don't think they'll get it for.
Oh no! Oh, there are a lot of sources on this. All right, so it's between August 26th is the date that I keep seeing though.
Let's see. Well, this is expected to be available for streaming on HBO Max around early to mid-October 2025. Digital release, they're saying around late August or early September to buy or rent. I still don't believe that.
See, that's what I'm looking for. I've got August 26th as the date that I keep seeing repeated everywhere, but I can't find a primary source anywhere.
Yeah. And I usually ignore things unless I see a primary source.
Yeah.
So I just saw it and moved on, I guess, because I haven't paid any attention to that. I'm just like, nope, I don't have a date. That's not a date.
Yeah, those are really specific, not quite real dates.
Yeah, which,
but
you know.
They won't surprise me, though, in a way. Though August would be really too short. But
yeah, Fortress of Solitude says unofficial sources have confirmed an August 26th VOD release. But that
was the exact sentence I found a couple ways that are.
Look at the next sentence on this article, and this is what we're looking at for real. That's just 45 days after its theatrical debut. They're trying to sell a narrative.
Yeah.
That this movie hasn't been
easily.
That this movie hasn't been successful. They're trying to convince you if you want to see it, don't go to the theater because it's about to be released on VOD and you can just hang out at home. Like, I don't believe it's going to be August anything.
No, not August 26th. I do think that not far behind it is a good candidate. Honestly, like 2 to 3 months. 2, really? Before you're able to, like, I think that is going to end up being where the sweet spot is for a minute. Like, I don't think there's much. Well, let me put it this way: there for sure can be, and you might as well keep it in theaters. But by the 2-month mark, if you're watching this movie in the theater, you were going to do that anyway. Like, you're going back to watch it in a theater again, or you're doing so and so. Like, you might do that, but I think at that point, you're just as well off releasing the thing for purchase for $30 or $35 a pop. And like, I think 2 months is a great spot to have that landmark where the digital purchase is available. And then, I'll ship you your Steelbook like a month and a half later or something. Mayhap.
I don't know. Like, they're going to make a ton of money off of that too.
Oh yeah.
They're going to make shit tons off of the VOD.
Like, that's the fucked up part about it. Is like, if it's a good enough movie, you're going to have people that'll buy it, have it there. You know, I'm going to buy it day one just in case I want to watch it when I get home. But actually, I'm going to go watch it in the theater again because me and my buddy talked about it. And let's watch it one more time before it gets out of theaters. It'll be 10 years, you know?
I hate to say it, but man, I've been feeling like I kind of need to go see it in IMAX.
Oh, I don't even know if they're going to have any more showings of it.
Really?
But, well, I don't know how. I've never looked at our schedule for IMAX. But yeah, I might. I'd be interested.
I don't know.
I'd be interested. I might still end up going just because exactly that situation. I might just end up with somebody going, "Hey, have you seen it yet?" Yes, but have you?
Yeah.
It's a good enough excuse for me. I'll see you there.
Man, yeah, it says in Birmingham, Alabama, there aren't any theaters showing this movie near you.
Ah, shit. See?
Jesus.
I know they do runs at IMAX, but I don't know how long they are.
Oh, well. I mean, I didn't want to spend the money anyway, and I'm definitely not going out of town for it.
That is also a good point. I've never been to our IMAX theater. I've also heard it's like borderline sitting on top of a crane. Watching the side of a gymnasium. I don't know if it's going to be uncomfortable or not. It borderline gives me anxiety to think about.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, man. We are out of news. We're out of feedback. We're at the 4 hour and 27 minute mark, heading right into 4 hours and 28 minutes. So
I think it's time we opened up a new area of discussion. Mm-hmm. I'm just kidding. I think we should go. I think we should leave and just stop doing this show for the night. And exactly that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Patreon.com/DC on Screen is a great way to support us. For $1 a month, you get every episode ad free, but it's going to be $5 a month if you want all of the exclusive stuff, all the exclusive episodes, all of these Marvel shows and movies and whatever reviews we're talking about, the Fantastic Four review we're going to do. That's going to be either a $5 a month situation, or you can purchase just what you want for $3 an episode.
The a la carte system.
A la carte.
The new a la carte system.
A la carte. But I'll tell you this, when we do warm-ups, we have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about some weird shit. Never know what we're going to talk about.
4.5 hour recording right now. God knows, though. By the time it hits air, it could be 3. Hide the rest on bitch. I don't know.
No.
We don't have the energy.
I'm not editing all that out.
There's just no chance of it. This is probably going to be cut by 4 minutes.
You know, I've tried to do shit like that, but like we bring up stuff. We like go circle back around to it, and it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Yeah. By the end of it, it's just harder to get out than it is to keep it there.
Yeah. So anyway, patreon.com. You can also join for free and just be a part of the community. And we have opened up all of our community lines, our community chats to the public, whoever it wants to be, or the members, whether they be free members or not.
I liked community lines more. It's made it sound like there was a row of operators.
It does. It does sound like that.
Brought in to work a night shift.
Yeah. And Midge Maisel is there, like working that switchboard.
Yeah.
And sometimes she does a comedy set, takes off her top.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple of them have dreams, you know.
Nothing like that happens on our Patreon. But we'd love to see you there. And Jesus Christ, I don't know what else. So I'm going to go. Jason, thank you for joining me on this episode, as always.
It was a pleasure. I'll hit record next time.
Damn it. How many times am I going to fall for that?
Great practice, though.
All right, y'all. Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Bye.